sorry. I didn't hear a damn thing you said.
All right.
And because I was a gazillionaire and I like building so much, I cut that price for free.
Species is dying, the birth rate is plummeting, women are chopped. But yeah, you know what? Get a fucking cat.
I know even more about grass.
Excellent. I love that intro so much.
It's so good.
It
never gets old.
Welcome to Touch Grass with Theo Snodgrass. I'm your host, Theo Snodgrass, comedian and podcaster out of Las Vegas, Nevada. The panel is here with us today. Hello, panel. How are you?
All right.
Hello there.
Just woke up. I'm good. Let's do it.
You just woke up. Isn't it like
that second shift
2 o'clock
timeline, man? It's got that second shift timeline, dude. It's got my sleep schedule just all out of whack.
That's crazy. All right. Does anybody have anything to share before we get started?
No.
Okay. All right. That's good.
So,
okay.
Let's go and dry. Let's go.
Hands up. Who's already familiar with the Akaash Singh story? Hands up. Okay.
Oh, sorry. That was a different. I almost did the wrong hand gesture.
Okay. All right.
Hand needs to be
started already.
Your heart was going out to everybody, Strider.
Anyway, all right. I'm so excited about this. This is the So for the audience who doesn't know, Akaash Singh is a stand-up comedian. There's two principal podcasts you need to know about. You need to know about Flagrant with Akaash Singh and Andrew Schultz, and then you need to know about Fresh and Fit with Byron Gaines on it. So Fresh and Fit is a red pill podcast. So Byron Gaines actually have a view. I have a video of him to establish this view. I probably shouldn't show that. Might get banned on YouTube. But his Byron Gaines is a red pill podcaster who advocates a variety of things that you should basically never commit to women. You should date multiple women at the same time, and that women are essentially farm animals. You know, he's like not a nice guy, right? So he appears on Flagrant 2, which is a podcast hosted by two comedians, Andrew Schultz and Akaash Singh, both of whom are married to women that they presumably like. And so Akaash especially gets very uppity with Byron Gaines on this podcast. And gets very, very snooty, calls his views childish, not very charitable. Anyway, we're going to have a clip of that, so we're going to see that. Fast forward 3 years, Akaash Singh's wife starts a podcast, and Byron Gaines finds out about it, and she is just repeatedly humiliating this man in public. And here's the thing. I showed clips of this yesterday on my show, Theocracy. There's more clips that we haven't seen. There's more clips.
You mean to tell me there's like a whole nother wave?
There's more.
Yes!
There's more.
Let's go.
So we're gonna, for the audience that isn't up on game, we're gonna go over some of this stuff again, so it's fresh in our minds.
Dude, you need that clip of what's his face scary movie where he goes, "Wait, there's more."
You mean Fresh and Fit in our minds?
Yeah, fresh it. Oh, God. Yeah.
Sorry.
So this is. So I'm just gonna go ahead and assume most of my audience already knows Byron Gaines' deal. So we're just gonna get right into it. It's what's crazy.
Whatever, but he's an actual asshole.
Yeah, he invented. The reason I object to him is he invented the horror say dumb things genre of podcast, and that is like my favorite kind of podcast. I think they're doing. I
thought they did that by themselves.
Well, I thought that was Howard Stern.
He was the one who. Well, that's. Okay, Howard Stern had a little bit different model. Like he actually so in terms of I'm gonna drag the streets of Miami for the drunkest, dumbest whores I can find. I'm gonna put them in a building, sit them around a table. I'm gonna make them angry on purpose so that they fight, and then I'm gonna farm that out as short clips. That as a business model was invented by Fresh and Fit, and mostly Myron. Because Fresh Prince CEO doesn't do anything. That guy's clearly a doofus. I think we all know that.
I mean, we all know it's pretty easy to get women to just fight with each other. Just put them in the same room long enough.
So what he does deliberately is he finds women that are confrontational on purpose, and then he gets them drunk, and then he asks them deliberately. He tries to make them angry on purpose. And so, like,
The thing is,
yeah,
he's also uniquely qualified to do that because didn't he work for the CIA, work for the feds or something in an intelligence capacity? So he knows exactly what he's doing. That's kind of the brilliance of it. He's really good at it.
yeah, it's kind of so it's a very entertaining show that is probably making society worse. Anyway, so he's pivoted towards white nationalism and a bunch of other shit. But anyways, these two podcasts have been feuding off and on for 3 years. We're just gonna kick off and get started and start getting into clips because that's when the show is gonna get fun for me. So this is just kind of a little.
We're so eager. We're so excited.
So this. So, oh God. Okay, go ahead.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
What I find corny is my.
Okay, so this was when Fresh and Fit, these guys are appearing on Akaash's and Andrew Schultz's podcast, and this is what he said to them that pissed them off originally. Go ahead.
Preference is not my women. Now I thought
Fresh and Fit famously do not date black women. That's what they're fighting about here.
it was I'm not dating my women, period, which is the corniest human being outside of a criminal to me, period.
Akaash only dates brown. Akaash has been with one girl in his life who is his wife.
That's my wife. That's an
so
Indian
this
woman.
is like loyal through and through.
Okay. Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. I was popping my pussy and living my best life in these white boy frat houses.
I'm actively trying to have an orgy and you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you fucking see him.
This is her talking about her husband. This is Go ahead.
His body goes crazy.
Oh,
his
boy.
face card always slays, never declines.
Oh, boy.
And it's kind of weird because I'm talking about your husband. I just know that Nav's dick is like at least 10 inches. Okay, I have 2 butthole stories. So one time I met a guy on Tinder.
It gets worse from here. It gets worse from here.
How?
I'm getting a hernia. Oh my
no.
God.
This is guys. We're just getting started. This
God.
God.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you some room to breathe before we get into the butthole stories. But before we proceed,
I had a dime for every time I heard that.
Do you think this woman was a virgin before she met Akaash Singh?
Lies.
Okay, so
A
Theo,
blonde woman going to college? No,
Theo.
not happening. Nobody.
Go ahead.
If you believe that, I've got a bridge to sell you.
Yeah,
Theo, you lived in San Diego, right?
yeah.
Okay, what were the two party colleges?
San Diego State.
Yes, and the other one USC. I used to pick up one of my friends because he didn't go to school there, but I would drop him off and then I would pick him up in the morning, and you would literally see the walk of shame.
Yeah. No, I lived so I went to USD School of Law, but I lived next to San Diego State.
Yeah,
And,
San Diego State has a walk of shame every morning. I remember seeing that on the regular.
It's a day ending in Y.
Oh man, I used to contribute to that walk of shame. Those were better times. That was a better time of my life.
Like because SDSU does have a lot of Indian women there too. So like
They did not, in fact,
disavow.
I
disavow
in that walk of shame in the morning, walking to her little sorority or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get back to
we're gonna
talking
get
about
back into the butthole stories. Go ahead.
And I made the dumb mistake of letting him sleep over, like not really wanting to fucking hook up. And I like woke up in the morning and like my asshole was a little sore. Oh my God. And I remember that he what kind of porn do you watch when you use a vibrator?
Wait, yeah. So hold on.
So did he rape her?
Yeah. That's kind of what.
Is that where that story went?
Dude, she could have just got some bad Taco Bell and doesn't remember because she was.
She could have put a toy car in her ass like that one dude from Jackass.
This is what I'm saying. I think okay.
There's always that, Nate.
I'm just thinking a hamster.
I mean, that is funny.
Suspension of belief. But that one's really
college girls are crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
Anywhere will find
Somebody
her.
check Nate's browsing history, by the way.
It has nothing to do with my browsing history. It's from a movie.
So my
Oh,
browsing
man.
history is way worse.
God damn. All right, let's see what else we got. Now, based on that, do you think this woman was a virgin before she met Akaash Singh?
Hell no.
No, okay. Wait,
She's
hold on.
lying her
Hold
fucking
on.
She
ass
opened her
off.
mouth. We knew it was
Hold
a
on.
lie.
Hold on. But she probably still, at least, even if she was a virgin before, she probably respects Akaash Singh as a man, right?
Don't
No.
defend this woman.
No.
Okay, not
Theo.
gonna lie, I don't want to.
Wait. I'd like to take a different thought on this. I actually think she was a virgin when she met. I mean, she was probably using the poop hole loophole.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I met a couple Mormon girls like that.
The Mormon,
yeah, that's also a proud Catholic tradition. Is that anything but virgins? Proud Catholic tradition as well. Keeping that alive. Go ahead.
What kind of porn do you watch when you use a vibrator?
Okay, not gonna lie, I don't watch porn while using a vibrator. What? I just think my imagination is vibration enough.
Wow.
I just think of like my own husband while I'm like doing it.
Wait, that's kind of baller, but I could never do that.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Wow.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Is she not thinking about how this is being received by people? That's my thought.
No, she's a woman on the internet. She
I
doesn't
don't.
have any
It's not
stuff
really
of her
that
own.
she does that I have a problem with. It's the fact that she's talking about.
Yes, that's right.
Right.
That's
Like,
it.
You know,
she's talking about stuff that you would at least think she has the common sense to at least keep to herself. But no,
This is the stuff guys used to get criticized for talking too much about, like, openly. But go ahead, Nate. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay. But no, it's like Iron said, she's talking about stuff that you would think, any sensible person would keep to themselves. But no, she's sitting on a fucking podcast, blasting this shit to the entire internet.
I know what it is. I know what it is. We've seen this before. Will Smith and his wife, G.I. Jane. It's the same situation where like we all want Will Smith to do better. Like, I think Will Smith should throw away his whole family and he
needs to disown his whole family and walk away.
That dude could fly to the Philippines right now and pick him up a chick and come right back to the States and start. His kids are already fucked up. Like, you can't tell me that there's nothing wrong with his kids, because there's obviously something wrong with them.
Yeah, every single one of them.
Yeah, like Will Smith still has a life to start over. As a man, you can still keep producing till you're in your 80s and 90s.
He seems to be good friends with Margot Robbie. Just get with her and leave fucking G.I. Jane.
he needs to start a whole new family. His whole family don't respect him.
Okay, hear me out.
Correct.
Hear me out. We need to get Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith over on Maury, and we need to DNA test his children to see if they're even his kids.
Yeah,
Isn't
even
Maury
better.
retired?
Let's try. Let's try to get them on an episode of Touch Grass where it's just Theo and them.
The real question, Emerald, when did Tupac die? Let's do the math here. When were those?
Yeah.
No, but seriously,
they met while filming Ali, so.
Well, it doesn't matter. Those kids are fucked up. Just start over.
Correct.
Like, if I was Will Smith, I would like have a car and like drive it off a bridge with the kids in it. That if I was, but you didn't hear that from me.
Yeah, that's a reasonable approach, right?
Rules. Throw it away. It's broken.
This is the consequence of this is the consequence of making a bad choice about the woman that you get with. What I think happened here is that we're gonna find out more about the story, but basically they met when Akaash was 31 and she was 22. And he was a virgin at 31. And so she was like, I'm a virgin too. And then they got together. And I think he was excited because she was hot, and she was excited because he had potential to make money. And now this is how someone behaves in a relationship when they have all the leverage and they're just like not scared of losing. And what's crazy is these are just the clips we've already seen. There's worse ones to get into. This is going to be a fun 2 hours.
Hold on.
To be fair,
does she actually have the leverage, or is she just a dumb bitch who can't keep her mouth shut?
She has the leverage because of how he behaves. I'm actually glad we have an opportunity. I'm glad you're here to ask this questions, because this is about
in my experience, I know other Indian males that have this similar situations as this too. it's like they've been virgins their whole life, and then they finally get the girl of their dreams, and so they don't question any of that. I'm sorry, it happens.
Yeah,
so,
that's exactly right. And we've also seen
they took that V card and they should not have redeemed.
That's right. Like there's a lot of guys that the first girl who touches it has some tremendous amount of sway over them, and they'll put up with any amount of treatment because they're like, I have the girl in my dreams, I'm not losing her. And they don't realize just how badly she's treating them, and she's treating them so badly because she fundamentally doesn't really respect him or doesn't think very much of him, knows that he's not going anywhere, and knows that that's kind of what's going on. And the reason she feels that way is because of how he acts towards her. Not, there's nothing innately evil about that. I would venture to guess this is probably a morally ordinary woman in circumstances that are bringing out some of her worst traits. I don't think she's even a particularly, wicked person. This is just how women behave in relationships when they really don't respect the guy that they're with.
Yeah, I don't think it's that. I think that's a partial thing. I think what it is most modern women, for them to get famous, or if they're going to have a talk show or anything, is to be super open than normal.
No, I have noticed that. Yeah,
that's just a modern thing. It's just even when it comes to, I'm sure you've seen that with the comedian sphere, right? Where all most modern female comedians, it's sexual jokes or whatever, the pussy this, pussy that. Modern female rappers now, all their songs is about them being promiscuous and stuff. Not saying it didn't happen in the past. I mean, we can see some music from the 1920s.
Yeah, but there seems to be a lot, a higher concentration of gross.
Yeah, and yet we'll have the gall to blame men for sexualizing them.
It's weird because the men are like, "No, that's enough. Please put it away."
Yeah, it's not
put it away.
You do it.
I'm just tired of looking at it. I would appreciate it if you'd put it away. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's great. I'm happy for you. Can you put it away?
Well, the problem is it's not hot women doing this. It's always mid to ugly women who have the most to brag about their sexual proclivities and their anatomy. It's I don't want to have that.
And
visual.
I think that's because
Amy Schumer. I don't want to have her vision. I don't want to have the visual of everything she jokes about.
Tremendously hot women don't need to do anything to get attention.
Correct.
So it's only mid women who are going to be viscerally loud and disgusting in this way because they need to do something to get attention. I don't know. I think some of this is downstream of the success of the Call Her Daddy podcast, where a lot of girls are just trying to do that. The other thing too is I talked about this yesterday. We're spoiled because we're in the streaming space. So all the women we know who have shows, they have interests, they have thoughts, they have stuff to talk about. All the women we know in our streaming space, there's a lot of women who don't they literally don't do anything because all this woman that we've seen her talk about is cute shoes, outfits, closet space, and guys she used to have sex with, embarrassing things about her husband, how hot other people's husbands are, right? And we think, well, why doesn't she talk about something else? Why does she do a show about something else? She might not have any other interest. That may be all there is. That I think for a lot of I think one of the reasons so many women's podcasts are just have zero content, it's just them talking about people they used to have sex with. That might be their only interest.
Well, I agree with you because even in our sphere, the women in our sphere are the ones that happen to have hobbies. Before that, it was oh man, we wish we can have a girl that can play video games with us, whatever. And then you find your girl, and then she doesn't play video games. What's the first thing you do? Hey, you hand her a controller. This is Legend of Zelda. This is Legend of Zelda.
Her into it.
Yeah. It'll be easy for you to play. There's only 2 buttons you need to know, on this Mario game.
Right. Next thing you know, she's whooping your ass in Mortal Kombat. It happened to me.
All I'm saying is that it's a modern phenomenon where it's because now everyone wants to get into streaming because most people don't want to work, right? So they see the larger YouTubers or whatever, and you see it with the guys too, right? how many people are trying to those nuisance streamers that you see right now?
Yeah.
Because like they have no other talent, and they're like, oh wait, what's the most annoying thing I can do to get as much attention as I can?
Yeah.
Apparently, Jack Doherty got arrested in Miami today.
Yeah, I saw that.
All right. That sounds like a super interesting topic for Ironcast, by the way. Different show hosted by my good buddy Iron Oxide, which will be a different day where we'll be discussing different types of topics, such as news topics. Here we talk about horror saying dumb things. Go ahead, sweetheart.
And so I was using you and your husband split finances, and I'm gonna be really fucking honest.
I don't.
We don't.
We don't.
We don't.
First of all, that's a fucking red flag. I'm not like no joke. I love you girls. If you want to work, all for that, whatever. But like any man that doesn't want to have a joint bank account or isn't being transparent with his accounts or has separate accounts, that's a fucking red flag. This is not a two-way street.
I actually don't think it's weird for married people to have a joint bank account. I don't object to
I don't
that,
either.
I agree with Theo.
That's not, but it's the rest of what she says that's troubling.
No.
This part is and also like
the way she said that just screamed to me, oh, it's a red flag if you don't give me access to all your money so I can run off with it all later.
Right, and it's here's the thing: the reason this statement is troubling is not because it's
Iron,
weird
you're
for married
muted.
people to have joint bank accounts. The reason this statement is troubling is because within the context of the rest of her behavior, our good buddy Akaash is in trouble.
Oh,
That's
yeah, a
what-
little bit.
Hold on,
Akaash is
Iron's
in
trying to say
trouble.
something.
Iron was trying to say something.
I didn't know I was muted. It's not a two-way street. That's the real red flag when she said that shit.
Yeah. I just
Go ahead.
I don't know.
This is a one-way street.
Yeah.
His money is our money, and my money is my money.
Yep.
There it is.
Have I only made $600 from content creating?
Wow, it went up $100 from last week.
But that's my money.
I've dated a woman like this, and you know what? She worked at a fucking Dairy Queen, making $6 an hour, only part time. And I'm like, no, that's my money. I'm sorry, you don't put in nearly as much effort for this shit as I do. I'm not doing this.
I mean, I partially agree with her at a certain point. To be honest, like as the guy, you do want to be the provider. So it's like,
some more that's just leeching off me.
Well, okay, like it's just up until now. It was always been normal for the women not to really work. It's just it's just because of how government and taxes are right now. It's kind of forcing us all to work harder, or anyone to try to do anything to make money, to where it seems so out of far-fetched, where it's like, well, it's my money, and why should I share it with her or whatever? But you know, we're also we used to be in the days where you did have a minimum wage income job and still could get a house and car and provide for
all of that's so far in the past though now, dude. There's the fact that feminism in the government and corporations destroyed the single income family and the nuclear family in general. Then going into current day, now we have the inequality in the dating market where now women are getting more opportunities and getting paid more, but they still want a guy that earns more than them, but then they're the ones that are going to have to do all of the providing, and their money is our money and her money is her money because girl boss.
Yeah, I don't agree with
women.
that.
That's another thing too. Is like women don't like when women make a lot of money. They like to spend it on themselves. They don't like men make a lot of money. And they're like, oh man, that's awesome. Now I can provide a good life for my family. That's awesome. I don't need all this money. I can give it to a family, right? Women don't think about it that way, and they don't like to it, and they kind of resent it if they end up.
I would really have to be 100% sure that you're the one and that I love you more than anything in the world before I ever agree to do something like this.
I understand.
There's
that,
also
but like, most of the
absolutely
time-
nothing wrong with having a family account that is a joint account that both people contribute to, and then each party can have a separate account for their own set amount without any, secrets. So you're not like going and supporting another family in Utah or some bullshit.
Well, I also think
book hotel rooms with NBA players, but at the same time, they can each have. You can have everything together and still have a sense of separate identity.
Yeah, the problem here.
That's if you have an actual equal partnership with the person you're with. God, I'm lucky.
There's not actually super problem. Like
Rub it in, why don't you?
It's like not super problematic outside the context of it's within the context of the rest of the shit she says and does. And the way that she spends his money on. By the way, they have no children together.
Oh, fuck that! You don't have kids. You don't need to have a joint bank account if you're,
Well, I think part of the problem, like I said before,
if you're in this kind of situation that he's in.
There's a lot of Indian guys that are in this position to where they never had a relationship, and then the first relationship they that's when they get married.
Yeah, dude. Well, that's kind of what. Unfortunately, like I said, the person who's having an incredible week right now is Myron Gaines. Like everything. This is he's reacting to this on his stream too. So basically, he's just going through this and talking about how this is all proof that his like red pill philosophy is right, and that if Akaash were more red pilled, he would have been protected from this outcome.
Which I mean, this doesn't exactly prove him wrong.
Yeah, I know. It's a great week for Myron Gaines. You can't even. You just do not want smoke on the internet with that guy, to be honest with you.
Well, the thing, the two extremes. I mean, they are very extreme because on Myron Gaines' side, he said women can't be trusted. Treat them like a hostile force. And then you have Akaash, who's like, no, women are perfect. Women are wonderful. They can never do anything wrong. Put them on a pedestal. It's like Myron puts them in the ground. Akaash puts them on a pedestal, and the two are just as destructive. You can't live like that.
To be fair to Myron Gaines, if you predict that everyone's relationship will fail, you'll be right 30 to 50% of the time. So, like, I mean, this is. Because you remember, people are saying he also predicted that Destiny's situation was going to fail. If you recall, the streamer Destiny had.
Oh my God, he must be clairvoyant.
Yeah, it's like, to be fair, everybody saw that coming. Nobody thought Destiny's open relationship with his, like, whore of Babylon wife was going to go super well, and she ends up leaving.
How far removed do you think that this woman is going to start? They're going to start announcing they have an open relationship, or start the next podcast circuit she's on. They're going to talk about their open relationship. I guarantee it.
Well, I don't know. 'Cause
6 months. I would bet money on it because that's usually how that goes.
I bet she's already has an open relationship. He just doesn't know yet.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, dude. I can't. Oh man.
And when he finds out, his entire world's going to come crashing down.
That's okay. You know what? Oh fuck, dude! Let's keep sliding through these clips because I've got a lot more to go through. So
all right.
I don't know if you watched The Boys, but I love him on The Boys.
I never watched that show, but like he's on my hall pass list.
Oh yeah,
Chase Crawford, Jacob Elordi, Austin Butler, and who else?
Do you know why I have like a good marriage? I think it's because my husband's never here. Okay, so I've been getting a lot of comments.
Oh, go ahead. This one's so good.
That I'm using my husband for clout, and yeah, that's exactly what it is. No lies were told. I am leveraging the support I have. It's kind of like nepotism, but like through my husband, so like spousal nepotism.
Yeah, I hope I don't.
She looks like Rachel Zegler's twice removed cousin.
What's wrong with that?
God, no, I don't think
so. That's tough. Because you have no accomplishments of your own, sweet cheeks.
Bear in mind. Now let's listen to. Hold on, I have this. We're gonna pull up this clip of Akaash talking about them before they got together. We got a couple of clips of him talking about how. We'll just play it.
Different. My wife also hadn't had any sexual partners, so that helped us connect a lot more.
Let me ask you this: do you believe her?
If you've seen her, then it's hard to believe. Yeah. I remember I was just like, "What?" But she was like. She was 22, I was 31. There was an age gap.
Sure. Did you lie, or did you come right out and say like, "Oh, me too," or was it what did that conversation go like?
I don't remember how it came. I think she said it.
Blacked out.
She said it, and then I was like,
when she said, "I'm a virgin," you went, your heart exploded.
Yeah.
You poor sweet summer child.
Nothing compared to.
Exactly. Dude, I was
a stallion compared to.
You had nothing to compare.
I was so happy.
Yeah, that for
so
sure.
Relieved.
Yeah.
And it was just like it felt right. It was like, oh, God brought me this person that like we already connected, and like she also.
Oh boy.
Different.
Oh, bro. Fine, corny.
Like with you.
This is another one. This is from the Horrible Decisions podcast. They're both on there.
Oh God.
They're both on there together, and so you kind of hear them interacting a little bit. And this is kind of a new clip, so we're gonna play this one.
But like, how did it go with other women talking about never having a blowjob? What the fuck? So. He's 34. How old are you?
25.
Okay. So like you meet him.
Yeah.
He's never had sex and he's older than you. Were you like, ew?
Yeah.
It's funny because like the guy that I was kind of with right before him was also a virgin. And
Stole it from a black dude. What's up? I stole it from a black dude.
The black man was a virgin?
I know.
You hear the skepticism in the host's voice. Like, wait, hold on. How
like,
many?
bitch.
How
He's
many
like, bitch, are you
virgins
for-
are in this story? Because here's the thing: it's like one virgin. I believe Akaash was a virgin. It's kind of hard to believe, and as the number of virgins increases, the believability of the story goes down. You see what I'm saying?
Or just her talk about how she longs for the days where she can pop her pussy. Like,
yeah, maybe she means dancing.
No, she doesn't. mean dance.
No,
maybe she might.
I doubt
she
that.
might.
There are a million other words you could use for that. That's not.
Yeah, no, I know that. I definitely know that. Oh fuck. Okay, let's just keep watching.
I might have been born, but I wasn't born yesterday, son.
Let's just keep watching.
Yeah. He was like really like on some principled shit, and I don't know. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why he didn't want to lose his virginity. But when I met Akaash, I was at the point where I was ready because I don't know if you told her because I was.
I didn't know you were a virgin too.
So I was a virgin too when I met him.
You hear her laughing as she says it.
It's
all
the fucking whores that are around my
no.
age.
All right.
Why?
All right. Now she may, to her in her defense, if I'm going to say this, she may believe that she's a virgin. And what I mean by that is there's some women that believe it doesn't count if you don't have real feelings for the guy, or it doesn't count if it's
fuck
like
off.
You know,
the reason why
I'm saying how she thinks about it.
Or like,
Who cares how she thinks?
Doesn't
Common
matter.
sense
I think
dictates
she-
that's not true.
No, her Google show she was lying.
Oh fuck!
Like fuck her feelings.
Like that little. I mean, if she said it with like a straight plain face, we're like, oh yeah, I'm a hurt. Like maybe I would give you some leeway on that one, but that giggle throws all that out the door.
Bro, it's tough. Giggle's tough. Giggle's tough. Go ahead.
That's why she don't know the dick is trash.
That's why.
She don't know no better.
I do have no idea.
You gotta get him ignorant. You know what I mean?
No, so I felt like I was like at a place where I was ready, and then I found out he was a virgin, and then I was like, great. Like, do I have to wait again? But I think like we just connected very well that it went without saying that we wanted to.
How did you guys meet?
See, as a black guy on the panel,
She had a
The
fat ass.
Hoboken
I think that
Wait, you met at one of his shows?
No, we're at the
I think the
Hoboken
black
Con.
guy was lying just so he like she probably
Oh,
said something that she was a
Just so
virgin.
he could hit.
And the black guy was like, "Oh wow, I'm a virgin too." Like, I'm just saying that he was just trying to like say the right thing to get in there, because then you've like, oh, you don't want to say the wrong thing and be like, "Oh man, now she's definitely not going to get with me" or whatever. So, I think the black guy was saying reciprocating what she said so he can get at her. That's all that was.
Comedy Festival. And
Andrew.
So they
The
actually.
sad thing, Vagabond, is they probably got done, and that's exactly what happened.
Okay, guys. So this video is the most painful one, guys. We're gonna get through this together. We're gonna get through. So this is another video that they shared. So this is he basically bought her a replacement, I guess. This is a scene of him. He's buying her a replacement ring because apparently the original ring he bought her was small, and he's buying her another ring and asking her to renew their vows. Now, I want you to watch this scene play out and tell me what jumps out at you.
I don't wanna.
It's gonna be tough.
Do
We're
we
gonna
have
get through this
to-
together. Because remember, it's too late to save Akaash Singh. But if one of your homies is in this situation, know what to watch out for.
I'm all the way on the East Coast. I can't be there to save him.
All of this is possible because you told me I could do anything that I wanted. And the best decision I ever made in my entire life was to marry this woman right here. His birthday it is in 2 weeks. And I love you so much. And the only regret that I have is that I only got to marry you once. So So I want to make a little quick announcement that we're going to get married again. We're going to renew our vows in India next year. Do you girls want to come to that? Does that sound fun? And since I am renewing my vows, I think the only thing to do is propose again. Jasleen Singh, will you be Jasleen Singh forever again?
Yes! Oh my god!
Oh! Take that drinky thing off. That drinky dink.
Did you guys know this? Yes! Oh
Give it a
my
second.
god! How big is this?
Wait, no. That's not even the best part. That's not even the best part.
I don't wanna see more.
That's not even the best part. It gets so much better.
Theo, I'm getting a fucking tumor watching this shit, bro.
That's okay, bro. It gets so much better. Go ahead.
I tell you.
Wait, hold on. Did you guys hear that? Let me...
Oh, she turned her head.
Shut up every time I tell you.
Uh-oh.
Based, by the way.
Yeah, and it's not. Rejects the kiss. She rejects the kiss. She turned her head to the side. She doesn't want
Before she got the ring, she showed no interest in what he was saying whatsoever.
Right,
And then
it's
she got it.
only
How
the
big is this?
It's only the ring. That's all she gives a shit about.
I feel so.
What do you say?
Turned and made it a cheek kiss.
What did you say? This is so gorgeous. She never said thank you. She's like, this is so good. What do you say? This is so good. Like you would do with a child. What do you say?
I made a little offhand comment earlier about how she's right around my age demographic.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking tired of my generation. It's bitches like this.
Yeah, you guys are cooked. It's really
it's
bad.
bitches like this that make me stay indoors and never want to approach anybody.
Also, I love how she's half naked at this dinner with family.
Right.
They're on a beach. I don't see
Indian
anything
too,
wrong
so they
with
got
it this
different
morning.
modesty standards.
Okay, sure.
It's like I think showing midriff is like not considered immodest in India.
Well, I'm not. I don't. The midriff is fine, but like the huge amount of cleavage there. I mean, I would not. I would be kind of embarrassed if my girl wore
No,
that.
I seen
family.
worse. So, I don't know.
It's a beach.
I'm fine with it.
For me, I feel so bad for this guy because from
Yeah.
what we've observed, it seems like he's really trying. Like he's really trying to be there for her, and he's really trying to make it work to the best of his abilities. And it sounds like she's just having none of it at all.
What? So when did this take place?
Oh, good question. I don't know. This might be.
The only reason I asked because he had that dust up with Myron three years ago, and if there's one thing we know about the Fresh and Fit fandom, they will never let shit go. So I can only imagine the 3 years since then, it's most of it's like performative. Look at the alpha male that I am. Look how I can buy my girl like this big hunk of ice to put on her finger. Look how amazing it's all performative bullshit. That's but
the reason why she's in the relationship is because he offers the lifestyle she wouldn't be able to get normally. So other than that, it's become to a transactional relationship. He gets perceived affection because he hasn't experienced before, so he doesn't know any better. And while she offers that to him, he provides her the lifestyle that she actually wants.
My generation's gonna end up making me a passport, bro. I'm serious. That's where I'm headed.
Don't give up, Nate.
They can all burn in hell for all I care.
They're not. No.
Jesus Christ.
No, this is what you have. This is showing you what to avoid. I'm trying to find those clips. I had those clips on the show yesterday. The ones where she's talking about how small the closet is. And complaining about their trips to Paris. There's one clip, I don't know where it is. Where
did you see my comment? I was like, man, she should see my fucking closet then.
Yeah,
she should see where I keep all my fucking shirts.
There's one, I'm trying to find it. There's one clip where she talks about how she doesn't want to have kids and she wants to use a surrogate because she doesn't want to get acne and she doesn't want to get unsightly body hair. So she wants to use a surrogate. which is
that's straight from a
I don't wanna-
dystopian novel or something. I mean, honestly, we want to talk. What was it? As much as they hate the idea of Handmaid's Tale, the idea that's Handmaid's Tale shit. Someone else has your baby because reasons, and you don't want to. Like, that's ridiculous.
I think those are excuses. She doesn't want to have his baby.
Oh,
yeah. Now, if it was someone from like the LA Lakers or some shit like that,
I should be all over that.
Like, okay, because for instance, they have the money. So, say she was to get pregnant and stuff, they got the money to like remove the stretch marks or whatever she wants or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, we've seen this with rich people all the time, where it's like, oh well, Britney Spears just had a baby. Now look at her 2 weeks later, she's back. They have the money to get all the personal trainers and whatever she needs to do. She don't want to. I think that was just an excuse that she doesn't want to have his child. The dude's just he's in a bad relationship. It's no different than Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. Honestly, it's just the Indian version.
She's probably already planning the divorce. She's gonna wait and see how much success she can leech off the situation first. She already admitted to grifting off his success and taking it for herself. She's going to stir up controversy, make it all about her. And then eventually she'll have a complete out and probably, think in her mind, probably think she can get a reality show deal and half his shit. So
women like this are
It's all
for the
part of the
fucking
plan.
streets, dude.
Well,
They
it's not
really
only
are.
that. That's why she has her own podcast in the first place. She's
a good thing.
The only thing that would make this situation worse is if it came out that she had OnlyFans or something like that.
That would have come out by now. But that's not. I mean, that's probably not too far removed from reality, because I mean, I think you're right. That's one thing that like controversy will 100% do is drive people to view her channel just to watch it all burn.
Iron was trying to say something too.
Like there's two. I remember there's two content creators. I remember Laura Clary and her Brit husband or whatever. They had a very public divorce, and they're still like sniping at each other back and forth. And she booted him from his show, and he lashed out and broke his sobriety, and it just been going nuts, all like back and forth with each other. And it's driving views. People want to watch the train wreck. People want to watch it all go to hell. And so I can only imagine that this mid-looking woman whose only claim to fame is being married to a famous comedian is probably going to milk that for all it's
Don't
worth,
have
too.
kids yet. Anyways.
Hold on.
And these
Iron,
are,
what were
this is gonna sound
what were you
so
trying to
stupid,
say?
but
I don't
these are
remember. I was
my
also
three
trying to let
reasons. Is A,
Vagabond go, but
I
it's
have
all
to
right.
get off spironolactone, and I feel like my acne will flare up. B, I can't get laser hair removal, so I'm worried I'm gonna have a beard.
What?
And then C, all the other like stuff that sucks about being pregnant, like you can't do Botox, and you can't eat
Don't
tuna
do
salad.
Botox, period.
You can't do Botox. You can't eat tuna salad. Those are the most important complications relating from pregnancy. Go ahead.
And your body changing, and then like all the scary stuff about the delivery. But my mother-in-law is saying that
Trivial shit.
don't worry. She says everything just goes away, but I don't know if that's true. So my
You're doubting
question
the one who's
is,
done it
does
before.
anyone have PCOS
Right.
that has been on spironolactone and then had to get off it when they got pregnant? And did your skin flare up? And then did it go back down?
Okay.
And then did you get a beard? And did it go away?
Oh
Those
my
are my
God,
two questions. What?
Ah!
It's genuine.
So Akaash is in the background reacting to her saying this. Go ahead.
Because I would really get a surrogate.
That sounds like a caution.
Yeah, she wants to get a surrogate because
I don't
she
believe her.
This fucking bitch has me about ready to crash out.
Yeah, I think you guys nailed it. I think she just doesn't want to have his kids.
Probably, yeah.
Oh my!
I just think she just doesn't want to have his like weird looking kids. And this is hard. By the way, this is all avoidable. You just have to marry a woman who respects you. All of
I
you
think it's
during
more
your
than that.
lifetime, all of you during your lifetime will know a man who marries over his skis, and this will happen.
Yeah,
Mark
but
my
I think
words.
I think it's a little more than that. I don't think it's so much just that she doesn't want to have his kids. I think she just doesn't want to have kids. We're seeing this with this younger generation. Because that means being for someone else and not for herself.
Yeah.
And we're seeing this with this younger generation, especially with younger feminist women. Now, it's get their bag. They're all about me, me, me. So you think a child, unless they're going to be like almost like a purse puppy, they don't want children.
That's weird.
Well, I disagree partially, but my bad.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay, because I think since she doesn't. Okay, if it was someone she truly loved, then all that shit goes out the window. We've seen it time and time again where like a feminist chick actually finds a righteous guy or whatever, the guy of her dreams. She's gonna do everything to keep that guy around or whatever, right? And then like the motherly instincts kick in. She's gonna want to have the guy's babies. She doesn't actually love him at all, and I think that's the bottom line. What this boils down to is he provides her the life. It's all really transactional. I guarantee you they barely do anything. If so, they're probably using a condom, right?
Yeah, she won't even fucking kiss him when he tries to renew their vows.
Yeah, that's hard to watch. And I think she just doesn't like him very much. It sucks. It's a huge bummer, but like we'll all know people.
No, she likes the stuff that he's able to provide for her.
She likes the stuff that he provides, but she doesn't like him very much. And by the way, he's the one. He made the choice to voluntarily enter this union, and I think a lot of that was motivated by the fact that she's hot. Because if he's telling me he likes this girl for her personality, I'm gonna have to say I don't believe him.
She doesn't
because
have
I've
much
seen her personality. So what do you think? My point is, it's very obvious that she likes him for the stuff. What do you think he likes about her?
The stuff.
I think he likes leaving the house standing next to her. I think he likes being seen standing next to her.
I've seen this happen to other Indian guys. It's not to be stereotypes, but I've seen this before. Other Indian guys where they never had a relationship through middle school, high school, college. After college, they get whatever high degree is, and then they find the quote unquote girl of their dreams. So they're buying the chick whatever car they want. Like they do everything to the chick's will, and they're just happy to have they're just happy to be in a relationship. That's all that is. So
Scott talking about joining the Muslim Brotherhood.
No.
Well, I've done that too. Like, okay, because you know how the black guy. Okay, hold on. So to answer Scott's thing was there was this black chick I was after, right? She was into the whole Nation of Islam. I didn't give a shit about what the Nation of Islam.
Don't tell him it's K though.
And like, so like I would go to the mosque and I would sit there through the whole rigmarole just so I can get some. And and like I never converted any. Like I didn't give a shit what they were saying. I just said all the right things so I can get in. That was all that is. Like that black guy going, oh, I'm a virgin too. I don't believe him one bit.
Yeah.
Oh Christ. Nah, women like this are for the streets, man. It's like the more she talks, the more I just want to take her fucking ass to Suplex City.
Like Akaash needs to take this shit very, very seriously, and because no doubt he's being bombarded with all of this.
I guarantee you, this is his first relationship. Unless whoever his boys are around him talk some sense to him, he's just gonna have to crash and burn. I'm sorry, it's the way the cookie crumbles.
It's how he's gonna learn. It's how he's gonna learn. But it just at the same time, I'd really hate to see that happen because about 95% of the time, when someone's in a situation like this, it's always the woman that comes out on top. It doesn't matter how fucked up or crooked she is. She always comes out on top because she's the woman and she holds all the power for some fucking reason.
Yeah, sadly, she is likely, as Theo says, she's probably already planning the divorce. She's likely would be leveraging the death of her marriage, her relationship into views of her podcast. And the thing is, because she's a woman on TikTok, the sisterhood will rally behind her and give her all the accolades and give her all the gassing up she could ever need.
Well, I don't think she's technically preparing for divorce. So a lot of modern women now, they're like, okay, I can wait all the way to my late 30s to start having kids, right? She's probably one of those. So I think right now she's at the point of, let me see if my podcast can take off. And if her podcast's like, hey, she's making thousands of dollars a week on her podcast alone, then she would probably dump him there, or she's going to find another guy. Outside of that, she's going to stay in the relationship as long as she can until her stuff outside of him takes off. I don't think she's preparing for any divorce right now. It's just
I don't date women that have TikTok. Like, that's an immediate red flag for me. The moment I find out, the moment I find out you have a TikTok, I'm just staying away from you.
Not a bad idea, actually.
What if? Okay, let me ask you this. Okay, this is so it's like the real question is, how do we filter women like this out of our lives? Right?
Find out if they have a TikTok.
Well,
and stay away from
so
them.
one, you got to look at this guy's situation. This is a typical quasi celebrity relationship. So this is much different than what the average regular person is going to experience. I mean,
most of us.
They're coming after my $36,000 to $45,000 a year income. Ooh, no, they're not.
Most people.
This is a celebrity relationship. It's much different.
I don't know.
It's going to be way easier to spot that situation here in the real world.
Well, I disagree a little bit to that. I think he's just never had a relationship. Like I said, I've seen this with other Indian guys where it happened. Like, I'd seen this one dude where he was like, the girl was tripping because he didn't give her like some fancy car. He bought her a different car or whatever. So
I think I've seen that video too. Yeah.
Well, this was a guy I was giving.
Well, again, what's the income bracket of these guys we're talking?
Well,
it's going to be a lot. These are guys, Indian or not, they're guys that didn't have life experience before they got successful and rich, so they're easy targets. This woman, she's a con woman. There's a lot of them out there. We see it happen to it happened to fucking Johnny Depp with Amber Heard.
Yep. Well, everyone kind of already
getting an elevated age, and she swooped in knowing exactly what she was there for.
Well, everyone kind of knew Amber Heard was already full of shit before they got together. Mm-hmm. It's just Johnny Depp was the only one that was not in on it.
I don't know. I just think that like me meeting a bunch of Indian guys or whatever, a lot of them fall into the same. I've seen it before. They fall into this where like even if they're not a celebrity, right? They got like a good job after they got like whatever degree, whatever, like they got a degree in something that actually matters. And now they're rolling in some money that they never had before. Now, after that is like, oh, okay, let me start having my first relationship. And I think what it boils down to is the inexperience of never being with anyone in your whole entire life. Then once you are somewhat successful, then you're like, oh, well, that's the first hot chick that comes in your life. That's the one you start trying to marry or whatever.
That's true. Most of us, fortunately, will never be successful enough to deal with a woman who's dating us.
Thank
only based on the shit that we're going to buy. However, you will meet guys who are dating or, God forbid, married over their skis, and their wife more or less treats them exactly like this, just with complete flagrant disrespect. Yeah. We've all been there, right? We've all seen it.
Does it because she can, because he lets it happen.
I would rather die than ever bend the knee to a woman like this.
Here's the thing: it doesn't require you dying. You could just be like, "This is not the right situation for me. Thank you very much," and then you can leave. That's it. Like you don't even have to die. Fortunately,
yeah. Like you
could just say no. Like seriously, if he just said no a little more frequently. I think what this comes down to is he's a guy who has weak boundaries and just doesn't say no a lot. Or when he does say no, she knows that if she whines, she could just get through it. We saw that in the video of the closet space. I don't know if we covered that. We could cover it. We can pull that up. The one of him them arguing about closet space, but you can tell this is just a person who's really used to getting her way.
That's so fucking dumb. Like she's complaining because I don't want them touching. I'd like to like them having gaps. Like fuck you.
The main problem he has, he obviously loves her, but the thing is he doesn't realize that she's not reciprocating the love back because and that's basically due to his lack of experience.
And that's the main thing.
Well, even with lack of experience, I would think that common sense comes into play.
No,
at some point.
no.
Look,
Oh, my
the
sweet summer child. No.
The
no.
power of
By the 10th or 15th
No,
time of her not
no.
kissing me back, I'd probably
Okay,
be like,
hold
"Hey,
on.
is
The
something
power-
wrong?
there
Like,
was
what's going
wars.
on
Oh
here?"
no. This
There's
is the
wars
power.
fought over pussy. I'm
Yeah,
saying.
dude.
Like, he's
Also,
probably
never-
only even getting it like once a year, if that.
Yeah.
And she still has all of the leverage because he was 31. He had no experience before her. He got successful and suddenly had options and went for the first best. Because what did she clearly lied and manipulate? Oh, I'm a virgin. This, that, Indian. So she knew exactly what angles to work. She's holding all the cards and he's cooked.
R.I.P.
Also, never underestimate a man's desire to try
Until
and fix things.
she decides to leave the relationship, then it's probably going to take him another 5 years to fucking rebound and figure shit out.
Oh, God have mercy on his soul then.
That's why
But
he
you know
needs to
what?
watch this podcast. What's his name?
You know, none of this.
Captain
We wouldn't be talking about any of this if he wasn't so pretentiously white knighting. And that's
the
the
thing.
reason
That's
that
true.
she's even able to do all this, because he put her on a pedestal and white knighted for her so much, simped for her, never tells her no, never tells her to shut up, woman, and make me a sandwich. Never does the things that women actually want you to do, which is put them in their place every once in a while.
Well, the thing
because he
is,
won't do that,
if
he'll just go nuts.
You have to assume this is his first and only relationship. So
Yes, it is.
So you can't blame him too much on that. His lack of experience is that's what's going to be until she makes a move or one of his close enough boys is like, hey man, I understand you think this is what's going on. Well, let us tell you another side of things that you're probably not thinking about, whatever. Unless one of his close enough friends, like I bet he doesn't have like a boys' night out where he hangs out with a bunch of the dudes. They go out drinking or whatever, and they're like, "Listen here, man. Like, hey, I think there's a problem with you and your relationship." And then he's gonna be like, "What do you mean?" And then they explain it, and then he has to be like, "Oh well, either he takes their advice or not." I don't think that's even happening either.
What sucks is that if you look at her responses, because she's released a few response videos, so we're gonna pull up one of these. And so if you look at what she says, look at the parts she chooses to focus on. Look at how she chooses to address that. Bear in mind, her husband told her explicitly. They did a podcast episode of this. Maybe I have the clip, maybe I don't. But her husband told her explicitly not to respond, and they were like, "No, I am going to respond." And this is how she chooses to respond to it on her personal TikTok/Instagram. Go ahead.
Okay, guys, I want to talk to you really quick because obviously my name keeps getting brought up by either women or men. Lately, it's these red pill guys because I said my money, or what did I say? His money is our money and my money is my money, which is a common saying, whatever. I'm not even gonna elaborate because I don't fucking care to explain myself to them. But what I will say is, if you're not gonna be a man for fucking women, like if you're gonna say, oh, women should do this for us and we're the prize and blah, 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 at least be a man for yourselves. And what I mean by that is, so I just watched Don't Worry, Darling, finally on Netflix. It's like that movie from 2 or 3 years ago that everyone was talking about.
Okay, we're gonna skip ahead.
The memories of their real life for him.
He just talks about this fucking movie, this Harry Styles movie for a while.
I've seen that movie and it's fucking horrible.
It's like, well, it's not. We're not gonna pay attention to that part because I don't need to hear her movie review, which is this whole fucking part of the video is just her reviewing this Harry Styles movie. Go ahead.
Little monkey. That's what I feel like you guys are doing. Whether it's Andrew Tate or these fucking red pill podcast guys, like when they tell you something, when they ask you to jump, you say how high. You're still not a man either way. Do you see what I'm saying? Like you're still a little bitch beta boy doing whatever these fucking men tell you. Why are you mad at us? Why are you mad if me and my husband are cool with each other, if we both make jokes at each other's expense? The difference is my husband will go on stage and say whatever the fuck he wants about me. No one has anything to say. It's like, oh my God, it's so funny, it's so relatable. But then I come on TikTok.
But then I come on TikTok and talk about how much I want to deep throat other men, and suddenly you guys have a problem with it.
Go ahead. And I make jokes, and now you have a fucking problem? because I don't have a mic in my hand. Like, make it make sense. I'm not here for the fucking misogyny. One thing that I will say, being canceled by this, like, people doesn't affect me as much because I genuinely don't respect them. I'm just like, okay, like, talk about me all you want, drive traffic to my page. Our YouTube video, our podcast episode that me and Nahal did got 37,000 views, which for us is really fucking high because we're just starting out.
Oh man! So she traded her marriage for 37,000 views.
All I took away from that is, oh, people are calling me out for being fake and wanting to be a whore. Misogyny.
Yeah. Well, this is a really important part. One of the reasons I want to show that video is because remember what she's talking about is the view count and the engagement. And I think for if you're dealing with somebody who's very shallow and very immature, social media is like maybe the most addictive thing that they could possibly put in their hands, because they're getting a person who's like really immature, has like no stable self-concept, and they can get a ton of attention and external validation, and that attention is very, very addictive. So like, I don't think she really, like, for the perspective of like people outside looking in, it's like, why would you violate the sanctity and privacy and the stability within your marriage for social media clout? Why would you do that?
Because retarded bitches don't think like they do,
like,
Theo.
No, here's the thing. It actually doesn't occur to her that her husband may have negative feelings about this. She's caught up in the thrill of being at the center of a social media controversy. This is thrilling for her. This is like,
she gets off doing this.
This is so exciting to be getting this many views. And it's my God, it's horrible. But like, I think you got to understand, for a lot of people are vulnerable to this trap of this like kind of inflated sense of self that comes from engaging with social media. A lot of people are vulnerable to that. This is like kind of like, I know it's tempting to like villainize a person like this, but I think this is like a morally ordinary person who's just, caught up in social media cloud. Because we've all heard like women who just like openly disrespect their male partners in this way. We just don't, they just don't generally do it on a podcast that's so scalable. The reason this is funny is because of Akaash's white knight behavior prior to this. The fact that he came out on the attack and was like, Byron, you're a garbage person.
Well, again, we've seen this with Will Smith. What's that? You seen that last rap he did?
Oh,
it was
God.
so horrible.
Oh man, and
like
that's where Akaash is right now. He's gonna have to claw his way back from this, and she's shown no regard for the impact that this may have on his career. It's like it hasn't occurred to her that her behaving this way online is going to interfere with the gravy train. Like, even in that response video, what did she do? She addressed like the least controversial thing that she said, the thing that even I was like a little bit defending her for. Like, I don't think it's weird to want to have joint bank accounts with a person you're married to. Like, that doesn't seem weird to me. That's like the least objectionable thing she said that like nobody was really that upset about. Right. And
but then she made it objectable with everything she said.
Yeah, with her comments about the closet space and the trips and the surrogacy and all this, like she's just making herself sound super vapid, super shallow. And the ring video where she's like, how big is it? Like, all of this is now kind of like painting a more detailed picture of what life is like behind the scenes. And look, they may have a lot of great moments together. That is not what they're choosing to showcase online. That like all of this is
a fucking mess.
Oh man, it's brutal. It's crazy because like we will all, like I said, you will all meet a friend who is in a situation like you all have a friend or you will be the friend, probably both, where you are in a situation like this. This will happen, where you just have a girlfriend who's a complete liability. That's the issue that like I think it's crazy. I don't think she is calculating how this, because he told her not to respond to it and it would go away, and she chose to respond to it anyway. Like she chose to, because they keep finding more clips. Like by the time this show is over, there will be more clips online of her. By the time this show is over, this show will be outdated. by the time the stream's over.
She's doing a lot of damage to him and his reputation. It's just sad, man.
I wonder if, I mean, no doubt Akaash does know that, but I wonder how much of it he's just dismissing offhand as, oh, just haters.
You really think he's doing that?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Do you think he's coping or do you think he's like stewing?
He's coping.
No, I don't think he's. I
Probably
think he's
a little bit of both. Yeah.
I think he's just oblivious. Like, I think he's oblivious because he obviously loves her. It's just he can't see outside of his. He has blinders on, right? So, like whatever she does is just going to be golden. Like she can talk all the trash about him, or whatever. She can spit in his food without being a goth or whatever. I'm just saying, like, she could do everything wrong, and again, he hasn't experienced anything out there. He's just gonna, as long as he can keep his relationship that he has, he's gonna allow whatever to happen.
Yeah.
Oh man. So we'll be continuing to monitor that story as it goes on. That's going to be a tough one. R.I.P. to the home.
Do you even want to continue monitoring?
I have to. It's well, this is like it's the perfect. It's where a lot of my interest.
When does it end, Theo? When does your mental health come into play, my guy?
You know, I kind of watch it with a little bit of like detachment. You know, I look at it as a teachable moment. It's valuable because, like I said, I have both been that guy and known that guy.
Yeah.
And it's important to remember that like stuff like that does exist. That doesn't make Myron Gaines right about stuff. Again, this is an example of if you predict that everyone's relationship will fail, you're going to be right like half the time anyway. So,
but he was right about this.
He was certainly right about this. Yeah, he was certainly right about this. And this is also what happens. The most important thing to remember when dealing with women is that they are indeed human beings with certain limitations. In much the same way that you are. And so if you decide that this human being who is nice enough to touch your penis is a perfect angel, then that will create problems for you downstream as this perfect angel proceeds to act like a human being. That and it's true. Like, and this is what I'm saying, Nate, you made a perfectly logical point. Why doesn't common sense take over at some point? And I'm telling you, because pussy is powerful. Pussy is powerful. Men are completely incapable of exercising good judgment in the face of incredible pussy, especially if they don't have a lot of experience. Now, like once you reach it, and this is where one of the things where Myron Gaines is technically right, but it's still gross. Like he says, you should have 50 bodies before you consider settling down with a woman. And he is right. After 50 bodies, it really it gets kind of disenchanting.
Well, I don't think you need to have that much, but
no, you don't. I don't recommend that either.
But really, because what do you? Sorry, back up on. Go ahead.
I was just saying, you just need to like, it's just because of the work culture and stuff now, people don't date like they used to. Because then you would get a sense of like what to do and what not to do. See the red flag signs that we are seeing in this relationship or whatever. Like the thing is, I guarantee you, this guy has no experience. And having relationships will eventually, you'll get to the point to like you'll recognize signs of bad signs from before or good signs from before, or what worked last time in your relationship and what didn't work last time in your relationship, and what or what you need to do to adjust. So I think again, this guy has no experience, so in that sense, that's where Myron is right. Is you kind of do need experience. But where I do think Myron is wrong is you do want to get to a point where you find the right person and actually settle down and get married. And you don't want to be like 80 years old or whatever. Like,
yes. And and it's pretty obvious that, there's stuff out there about Myron too. Like supposedly he had a public girlfriend, and according to her, they never had sex. It was all for show. And that he would still travel with a ton of condoms on him. So again, this is spawned rumors that Myron may indeed be a closeted homosexual, and that's where all this comes from. I wouldn't be surprised if that's true about a lot of the Red Pill guys, to be honest with you. I don't think I don't think any of these guys are who they claim to be. But
well, Myron has pictures of dudes and being in bed.
Yeah, there's a lot of sus shit out there about Myron. Nothing wrong with being gay. It's it's wrong to be gay and then tell straight people how to date.
That's why he was a virgin when he met her.
No, but let's see. But he's right about this in the sense that you don't need to pork 50 women to get experience with women. It works to just like pay attention and like educate yourself a little bit. Like,
but also, ultimately,
that will do it. That will do it. But there's like other ways to learn, I guess is what I'm saying. Like it benefits you to educate yourself a little bit, but like, God damn, don't do that. Don't follow Myron Gaines' advice.
At the end of the day, what are you learning by dating all those women? You're learning that they're people and they're just as screwed up as you are. And you're learning not to put them on a pedestal. You're learning not to treat pussy as if it's a treasure. It's not. It's really not. And you can know that already, and you're halfway there.
Well, the other thing too.
I'm sorry. It's like I don't really want to quote 40-year-old virgin, but you're putting the pussy up on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Yep. Don't do that. They're human just like you. They're just as capable of hurting you, just as capable as but they're just as capable of wowing you. But just keep it. Remember, dick is earned. Treat dick as if it's put dick on a pedestal.
No,
put that on a
you
pedestal.
should also
make
that's kind of
clip that Arza if you're
clip that Arza.
Make them earn the dick. Make them earn it.
Oh God, gay.
No,
all right. Thanks, God.
If you treat yourself as if you are the treasure to be pursued, flip it. Flip the game. They won't know.
Can we add that to the touch grass intro?
Go, girl.
Put dick on a pedestal.
No,
don't take that advice. No, but
what's up, buddy?
No, all you really need to do is just go out and have some dating experience. Hang out with your boys. You're going to see their experience as well too.
But
like,
you guys are so far away.
Well, like I'm sure there's some ways you guys can hang out, whether it's online or whatever you guys are playing some type of game and you're just chilling with the boys. You guys are going to talk about relationships and shit. Hey man, how's your girl going or whatever? Just shit like that. You're going to gain some experience or some knowledge to where like what to do or what not to do, and maybe learn from your friends' mistakes. So, like even if you're not dating and like your friends are, you can kind of see if they're crashing and burning or not, or whatever.
Yeah.
And shout out to my fellow gooner out there, DJ Direwolf.
Hey, bud, are you crashing and burning? Yep. What about you? Yep. Same here.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around. I think that's one of the reasons I think stuff like this reverberates online the way that it does is because there's so many unhappy people now. So. Yeah. It's but there are a lot of the people who are the most upset about this are unhappy single people. That's who's the most unhappy about this.
Well, it's either it's unhappy single people and people who are in relationships that realize they're just not getting anything out of it, and there's just this hole in them where they just kind of feel unfulfilled in a way. I've talked to a lot of people that feel that way.
Yeah, not good.
I don't know. It's like this. Okay, bring it back to Will Smith again. We can all see that's what we don't want in a relationship. So,
I definitely don't want G.I. Jane as a partner.
No, well, ignore who the woman is. Just the fact of how Will's relationship is. Like, she could be the most beautiful woman in the world or whatever, right? But do you see how toxic the whole thing is? We all know we don't want to be the Will Smith in that relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And without even being in the actual relationship, if it happens to you eventually later, you're aware of the sign. Hey man, I remember this happening to Will Smith, or I remember the situation with Bobby Brown, or whatever. You keep going on and on. You know what you don't want to be in.
O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
Oh dear God.
Not definitely avoid that. Yeah. So, but the thing is, like, I will say she's probably been like this more or less the whole time. It's just getting worse over time. Like, I think there were probably signs that she was this person early on that were observable that he chose to ignore. Do you know why? Because he was smashing.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, smashing just destroy. I'm looking at you, Nate. Smashing destroys a man's judgment. I'm telling you, it's like you will ignore all kinds of red flags to continue the smashing process, to recommence smashing.
Like,
Yeah, bad idea. Dog. But my common sense kicked in, and I eventually broke away from that shit.
All I know is the first girl that touches my willy gets access immediately to my bank account. So,
no, literally, like that's how me and my ex like started to break up. At first, everything was great for like the first year and a half, and then like going into, like that last quarter, yeah, I just really started to realize that she really wasn't reciprocating a lot of the affection I was giving her, and it just kind of hit me. I'm like, is something going on? Like, you got something you want to tell me? And of course, she played dumb, and she was like, "Nope, everything's good." Okay,
what happened?
Sure. I'm pretty sure she was fucking a guy behind my back.
Probably.
Like I'm not an idiot. She mysteriously had this friend of hers that they've been friends since kindergarten. He was never around the entire time we were together, but just mysteriously towards the last quarter of our relationship,
yeah,
they were hanging out more and more. I'm not a fucking idiot. All right.
That's okay. Root for RIP to the homie. Let's go to DJ Direwolf now. A lot of married dudes are in dead bedroom marriages. Explains why most of the people that give money on OnlyFans are married men. That is a true stat. I think it's like what is it? Like 80% of the people who have pay OnlyFans subscriptions are married guys, and that works out mathematically to like almost half of married men in the United States having an OnlyFans subscription. It's like high 40s. It's really crazy,
scary.
Yeah, and we got to be. And so the only thing is, it's not just the dead bedroom. It's not just that there's no sex in the marriage. It's also that there's a lot of times what you find out is that these guys just want to talk and just like be heard. And they just want to talk to a person. So what they're paying for is sort of like a fake emotional connection.
Well, with a digital prostitute. It goes back to what Vagabond was talking about. The act of transactional love. If my partner's not giving me what I want, it's become so easy nowadays to where you can just get online and pay some bitch that you're never gonna touch or feel or ever meet to basically just tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah, that's really bad.
But you see that on the woman on the street interviews with what they're asking for. It's all about transactional. What can the man give me? So it's like, well, at this point, that's why a lot of men are choosing to go to those. It's like, well, I know exactly what I'm giving and what I'm going to get in return right here. It's not one of those where, and it's all that. Unfortunately, it's I hate to say the whole. You'll own nothing and be happy. So everything's going to a subscription model. Even getting off will be purely a subscription model that we're moving to as well.
I hate that. And what the cool thing about that, though, I don't know. Some of that is like created by online. Some women see a camera and a street interviewer, and they choose deliberately to say the most obnoxious thing they can think of in an attempt to go viral. So I don't know. Like most of these guys are, fucking retail employees. That's important. Most of these women who say that they want a millionaire are fucking Chad from the vape shop. He's got a slight paunch. He's got a lazy eye. He's emotionally distant in a way that reminds her of her father. And that's who she's going home with. That was oddly and she's like literally sitting here right now. I wonder what Chad is thinking. Chad hasn't had a thought since 1996. Chad hasn't had a thought since he got his N64 when he was a kid.
Chad is most of it.
Yeah, and
he hasn't had a thought since 1996.
That's what I'm saying. Is like these women that you see on street interviews talk about how they'll only date millionaires. Remember, they're fucking Chad from the vape shop. They're not fucking millionaires. That's not happening, but they're told to manifest it. Yes, queen. Everything is like you speak it into existence, dream big, never settle. And the reality is that's not who they're fucking. That's not reality. So again, keep this in mind. online is preventing a skewed view of reality. And what I think we're seeing from Akaash Singh's wife is she feels like she's manifesting her dream life because she goes from like she's so materialistic and she's so like, I can have whatever I want, I can spend whatever money I want, I'm manifesting abundance, everything is great, I'm going to build my own platform, I'm going to be an influencer now. She sees herself as like kind of like a pseudo Kardashian, right? Like that's what the life she's trying to construct, where she wants to have a reality show about how wonderful and amazing she is, and she sees that has existed for other women, and she sees, why not me? Part of me, I have to admire her a little bit because she wants a certain life and she's doing her best to create it. And
I think you're being a little too nice, Theo.
That would not be for the first time. That is probably the biggest criticism in the chat yesterday. I remember there was a chat from Ronald. Shout out Ronald, who's a big fan of the show, friend of the channel. And he came in the chat, and a new viewer was in there, a new sub asked, why are so many women feminist and angry at men when this has never been a more comfortable time in history for women? And so I said, the first thing I brought up was, fatherlessness. A lot of these women have never had a good personal relationship with a man. And Ronald was like, unbelievable. Even when it's women who are at fault, Theo finds a way to make it men's fault. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, that's my biggest. It's so funny because I also get so much blowback for fucking misogyny. And yet, I'm actually the world. In reality, I am the world's biggest white knight. So that's
the world's biggest white knight that won't even approach a woman on the street.
So the announcement, the Chad from the vape shop hasn't had a thought since 1996 is coming soon.
Excellent. Excellent.
There's a joke to be made there.
Is it going to be a 6-issue miniseries written by Von Coleman?
Maybe. I Can Fix Her coming soon. We put in some work on that yesterday. That was a lot of fun. That's going fun. That's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be promoting that on the show before you know it. It's just, it takes time to get these things in motion. To address, Nate's criticism, I do approach women, but it's like mostly disappointing. You just have to, at this point, because I've done it so much, it's mostly disappointing, and the positive experiences are so rare. It's like you heat up a frying pan with like bacon grease, and you keep putting your palm in it. And it's like, if you put your palm in it enough times, eventually it will turn to gold. But you just have to keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it until you've just got this like callous fried hand. And that's what approaching women is like for me. It's like, this again.
Yeah, but Theo, I keep telling you, Theo, your pickup line of how was your relationship with your dad is not a good pickup line.
I don't do that every time. It doesn't.
I mean, it's not a good pickup line, but it works.
No, this is what I'm saying. It's like, so if you actually want, if you want to find out who a woman is immediately, approach her with genuine curiosity and like you don't want anything. Because I'm at the point now where I don't want anything from most people. They don't have anything that I want, and that's a really nice place to be. Also, it helps if they have just seen you do stand-up comedy. That helps. So if you can engineer a situation where you just crushed at stand-up comedy, the women in the room will be a lot more receptive to talking to you. If you can figure that out, just, but
and then if you go to a Halloween party, just look at every woman with sheer disgust, and when they walk over to you, go, ugh, and walk away.
Because of like how they were. You saw them.
I took you to an all-you-can-eat buffet, and you turned your nose up.
It's
the whores.
You do have a good point.
There
were a few that you could have.
That clip of I think it was either you or Selena just turning the camera and you see his face. That clip lives rent free in my fucking head. He looks scared, disturbed, and disgusted all in the same.
Yeah,
that look screamed, "I need an adult."
No, I don't know.
He looks like the little kid that got separated from mom in Walmart, and he's really trying to find her.
All right. right.
Do you know my mommy? Can you help me find my mommy?
All right, that's good.
Click on
enough.
a whole new
Uh, that's good enough. All right. The only one of those I'll object to is scared. It's viscerally repulsive to me in a way that I don't know. I think this is hard for people to understand. It's viscerally repulsive to me to see a woman I don't know have an opportunity to get attention from a room full of people, and the first thing she thinks of to get attention is to bend over and show her naked ass.
In your defense, I will say, if flamboyant gay Spider-Man was doing that in front of me, I'd probably have the exact same
flamboyant
facial
gay
expression.
Spider-Man. Let's break down the video, shall we? Let's break it down.
Let's EFAP the hell out of this.
So we have flamboyant gay Spider-Man, and we have what you cannot see in the right side of the screen is just a bunch of women
Really big ass.
throwing ass.
Not a straight wrist in sight on that stage.
Like it as so gay
And
Spider-Man is
flamboyant.
throwing boy pussy here, and and these are God,
Jesus, man.
Just
I'll be real,
wow.
Theo. I do feel for you in this situation because
Hold on. Here we go.
Earbuds
in
and
walks away.
I love how you can see the gears turning in his head.
Yeah, you know what? The thought I kept having was, did any of you have a father? If so, where are the fathers?
No, I
Is
think you
anybody-
gave up after that girl that talked about her feminist Medusa.
Yeah,
tattoo.
immediately.
You were just checked
immediately.
out after that.
That was the first. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna talk to one of these girls. She seems super nice. And then, yeah, as soon as I found out she had a feminist tattoo, I was like, oh fuck.
You see,
It's
I
just,
I wouldn't have known it was a feminist tattoo until she told me.
Right. And do you know? Okay, this actually makes my point. I'm so glad you said that. This is why you approach people with genuine curiosity. Because if I had gone into that situation deciding that I wanted to smash at all costs, then I would have been like, no, I think that's great. You know, but I was just like, instead, because she doesn't have anything that I want, you know,
we got a perfect example. The chick at the Irish pub.
What?
Oh, the waitress.
Theo was sighing like he just had a Vietnam flashback. Like,
yeah.
Well, no. So it's more to that. I tipped her nicely, and Theo was pissed that I tipped so nicely.
Yeah. Yeah, well, because she was a bad waitress.
Well, like she poured water over
bad
the
at being a
table.
waitress. Like she spilled water
She
on
was
me.
really-
She brought
she
the wrong
was really
food.
bad.
She wrote
She
shit
was-
down wrong. She called me gay. There's a lot of
She
things
did?
about her that I didn't like.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
She was
did.
Are you
perfect.
sure that's just not in your head, Theo?
She
No,
was
I'm
perfect.
100% sure. She was.
That's
Anyway,
funny,
Vagabond
like,
thought she was perfect.
She liked Lord of the Rings and like a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, she
So,
should.
so
pouring
waitresses.
coffee all over the table.
She did like Rings of Power.
I just
That's
think
what
if
she
people
was.
are bad,
I mean,
I think if people are bad at their job, they
she
should.
might have just seen a group of good-looking men sitting there and just got.
I have
nervous.
that.
I love
had that
how
effect on waitresses.
you're the one that got called gay, but I was the one handing out electrolytes and Advil, and yet
Yeah,
I'm the one that gets called.
Yeah.
You're the one that gets called gay.
yeah.
You know, I
Horrible.
should fly over. I think Hannah B's doing a concert
Like a
in
soccer
Vegas.
mom. And don't forget to drink your electrolytes. You need
That's actually what I was doing.
No, she was just nervous because I put off.
You.
No, she was nervous is because I put off dad energy, and obviously she didn't have a good relationship with her father, so that's the reason why she was nervous around me.
There you go.
I mean, your nickname for that whole day was Dad.
Yeah.
But this is important to circle back to something that's relevant to the show that I actually want to talk about.
Well, can I say something real quick? I got a joke. I want to be comedic a little bit, so I got to what do vegans and feminists have in common?
They use fake meat for imitation.
That's pretty good. Do you have a better?
You
punchline than
don't
imitation
have to
meat?
try to figure out who they are. They're gonna tell you.
Yeah, that's true. We'll find out. Circling back, finding out who people are is very important. That's why you approach people with genuine curiosity. And it is a little bit discouraging. I think that's what is like, here's the thing. Like, I guess what you're, reading on my face there is I'm imagining a 20-minute conversation with these people.
Are you, or are you just staring at them and
communicating with them? Ugh.
Well, why do you think I'm staring at them in disgust, Nate? What do you think is causing that?
I don't know, flamboyant gay Spider-Man slapping his ass.
Sure, flamboyant gay Spider-Man
disgusted by
slapping his
that.
ass, but I'm not fantasizing about a 20-minute conversation with flamboyant gay Spider-Man. Respectfully, I hope you understand that. What do you think I'm experiencing the emotion of disgust? Anyone else want it, Strider? You want to venture a guess? Why do you think I'm experiencing disgust watching these obese women jiggle?
Probably.
What do you think is causing that reaction?
Your own question.
Probably,
you think it's fear, or do you think it's something else? What do you think? Go ahead.
I think you're remembering. I think you're remembering all the conversations you had before with women exactly like this, and how they went, and how disgusted you were then, and anticipating the same happening now.
Bingo. I have a lot of experience, and I'm betting that that's probably exactly this conversation with these women are going to be exactly like previous conversations I've had. And this has been further reinforced by, I was like, you know what, Theo, you're too judgmental. You should actually talk to someone. You should actually talk to someone.
Is it the same face you made?
I think that was me that actually said that to you.
Yes, it was literally, you should actually talk to someone. Don't be so judgmental. As soon as I get out there, I'm putting my hand in the hot grease again. And what is it? Oh, it's hot grease. Cool.
I'm curious. Did you make that same
It's still
face?
hurt like hell.
Did you make that same face when you guys went to the strip club and you were trying to like psychoanalyze the strippers?
No, that was easier. Because the girl I talked to was for a long time was the girls that there were actually like ironically, they were less slutty than the girls who were just shaking ass for the crowd. I would say
that is crazy.
Yeah, a little bit, and they were a little bit more. Well, because the girls who were the obese women who were like shaking ass for the crowd were doing it for free.
That's true.
The strippers were
there wasn't a transactional component to it. They just wanted attention, which reeks of desperation. And that's not, it's not my favorite thing. I like a intellectual, self-possessed, creative woman who, wants to churn her own butter. You know what I mean? And that's hard to find in, a Halloween party where everybody's like throwing ass. It's just not, I know they're there.
Theo's all about churning butter. He's not a biscuits and gravy kind of guy.
That's right. Look, I could be persuaded. Look,
Don't remind me
that's
I
the
missed
thing.
breakfast at Dairy Queen today.
Like, it's like, don't, but you can find this stuff out if you approach people with genuine curiosity. You actually try to figure out where they're coming from. And that's what I did with the strippers too. And the reason I'm able to do that is because like disembodied like buttholes don't do anything for me. Like I've had butthole before. I know what it is. And it's not like my life isn't going to change by seeing another butthole. Like, ooh, another one. Like that's not going to change my life that much. Buttholes is buttholes. I need to know the backstory.
Hold on, Theo.
The backstory is the part that's interesting. Go ahead, Vagabond. You were going to say about buttholes?
What if they use that pumpkin spice dude wipes or something? I heard there's a dude
I mean, if it works.
Oh man. Well, that's what. Look, the thing is, like, what I'm interested in at that point is I'm interested in the human being behind the butthole. That's what I'm interested in. I'm not really. I'm not. I'm not. I mean, actually, the human being in front of the butthole might actually be more appropriate to say.
You prove the meme opposite. You actually do read Playboy for the articles.
Yeah, I actually for real
is definitely behind
the
butthole.
I'm genuinely interested. Because I like women as people, and like you can't. It sucks. It's a curse in some ways. I wish that I could, just view women as like, disembodied sexual objects. That'd be sick, but like I can't now. I see them as people. I'm stuck. So I have to like listen to what they think about stuff. And when they think dumb things about stuff, it hurts every time. I'm telling you, it hurts every time. You know how many times I meet a beautiful woman and then I hear her opinions and I'm like, damn, that's a shame. And then it's like that. That's my whole life is just walking through the world, just one after another. Damn, that's a shame. And you just keep pushing. it's like demoralizing in some ways. But that's why it's like, that's why the best way to do it is you have to like talk to a lot of different people. That's the issue. You just have to talk to a lot of different people and approach them with genuine curiosity. If you ask people who they are, they will tell you. That's for the most part. That's almost universally true. And you don't have to want anything. That's the thing. And they may assume that you want something. That's okay. And then they may like not. But most people will be receptive to a conversation with you if you just approach them with genuine curiosity.
Yeah.
Theo has a new self-help book coming out in 2026. It's called Learning What Is Actually Behind the Butthole.
Behind the butthole.
Okay. All right, y'all. I gotta head out. I gotta get ready, take a shower, and then head off to the movies.
All right, great.
Oh, cool. Well, no, just leave it on. Get a wireless. I mean, the shower's just right behind you. Just meet the screen.
That's okay. No, you don't have to. No, you don't have to.
I'm not gonna do that. No, I'm good.
For less than $10.
Vagabond, what are you sharing with us?
No, nobody wants to see my butthole. Okay.
All right. Nate, do your outro and get out of here before we can go back to talking about buttholes.
All right. So next
Why is
week
there
it's
stains on your towel?
Next week at 6 p.m. EST, Curse of Strahd, episode 24. The party's in a world of shit right now as they have stumbled upon a fucking windmill full of hags that may or may not be chopping up children. It's pretty fucked up, honestly. But when I'm not doing Curse of Strahd, you can find me on the weekly Rogues Gallery with Iron Oxide. You can occasionally find me here on Touchgrass with Theo Snodgrass. And also on occasion, you can find me on insert title here with Drunken Emerald Arrow. And that is about it for me. All right. Love you guys. Have a good show. I'll talk to y'all later.
All right. Vagabond, what are you sharing with us? What is this?
So
More buttholes?
Dude Wipes came out with the pumpkin spice flavor of Dude Wipes.
I swear, Vagabond is the whitest guy on this panel right now.
So I'm just
Scent
saying,
or flavor? There's a difference. It's important to me that you know the difference.
well, it says it's made
All right, pull it up. Pull it up. What are we looking at here?
So it's called Dumpkin Spice.
Oh my
and
god.
It's made with nutmeg, clove, and fall shit. That's what they wrote on there. So, but yeah, that was pretty. So,
absolutely not.
Why would it? No, that's gonna combine with stank, and that's not gonna be pleasant to smell.
No.
Well, I mean, you're supposed to the wipe clean. So, I mean,
no.
You could have a chick to use that, and then you can just go to town or whatever.
Nope. This was a mistake. Nope. Nope.
Okay, how do I stop sharing? All right.
No.
This was a mistake.
There we go. Okay, we got it. God damn it. Let's go to the chat real quick.
Use it for the balls.
Hold on. Actually, Watcher X brought up a good comment. Men subsidize hoeing. Also men. Why are all these women hoes? Because it works. Women are hoes because they want attention, and being a hoe is a good strategy for getting attention. They do it because it works, because it gets them what they want. So we as men, this is why I always blame men for everything. We have to stop engaging with hoe behavior. We have to. This is, and me not engaging with hoe behavior gets people insinuating that I'm gay or that I, fear women. Things like that.
I don't want to pay a shit ton of money for someone that doesn't want to be around me. Oh no.
Yeah, and besides, I'm not afraid of whores. I'm afraid of intimacy. Like, I'm way more afraid of like sharing emotions than I am of a slutty woman. You don't have to be scared of a slutty woman. That's easy mode.
Well, then
you
may
mean
I
scared of a woman who looks me in the eye and say, how do you define yourself? That's terrifying. Like, I can. What is your relationship like with your dad? Shut up. Like that's what I'm scared of. I'm not scared of like women's jiggling body parts.
May I recommend the subscription model?
Yeah, we're shifting to that. And I wonder at some point, the transactional model becomes more honest, a more honest version of what's happening. I mean, Akaash Singh is clearly in a subscription relationship, right? He is, but they're not being honest about it. Like he says, he has all these professions of love. Have you heard her, even say anything that suggests she likes him? Like the only time I heard her talk about what a good husband he was he's an amazing husband and he's here. I don't meet a lot of men who measure up, but your husband is way better. That was the only time. It was immediately followed by talking about how much she wants to, fuck her friend's husband, which by the way is a wild thing to say. Like I can't imagine her being like super comfortable with that. That's super weird. I don't know. Imagine if your buddies were hanging out. It was like, bro, my wife, kind of dumpy. Your wife, super hot, would smash. Holy shit. Like, imagine that. That would be an uncomfortable conversation. I mean, I don't have a wife. I'm just saying.
Well, I remembered the sage words I got from a school instructor back in the Navy. All women are whores, except for your mother. But your father will dispute that.
Oh, man.
Words to live by, for sure.
Remind me to visit Nate's D&D stream next week and ask, will there be buttholes? There will be buttholes. I'll make sure of it.
Starring Daniel Day-Lewis.
Let's see. I'm afraid of women using the law to get what they want. That's pretty reasonable. If a man says he is undateable, only his mom will argue. When a woman expresses doubt, she gets gassed up and told to get back in the pool. You're such a catch. Any man would be lucky to have you, That's also true. I think that women give each other terrible advice. It's just like constant like affirmation. Like if I if I can rely on my friends to tell me the shit that they think I'm doing wrong on a semi-regular basis, and I think most men have that from their friends. Like if you're really fucking something up, then you can rely on your friends to point it out if you ask them to, if you have good friends. And a lot of women don't actually have that. And part of that is because, like I said, the number one rule is social cohesion. And also a lot of women don't respond well to criticism. Like they don't take it well. So they don't respond well to constructive feedback. So they have a hard time improving. And so the other thing too is they're surrounded by a culture that's constantly placating their feelings. So everything that's coming through the phone, everything that's coming through the media, everything that's coming from their friends or their whatever is telling them how great they are and how there's nothing wrong with them and how they don't have anything to fix. And if there is something wrong, then it's probably society's fault, or it's probably men's fault, or it's from some outside external force that doesn't rely on them to make any meaningful improvements. And it's like somebody who has that kind of relationship with reality is just going to be hard to deal with. Like it just is what it is. There's not, there's not anything you can do about it. It's just DJ Direwolf will bring it up. Men get properly criticized. I think that's actually true.
Yeah,
I think that's true. We get real feedback from the world, and a lot of women are not getting real feedback from the world. Like you saw how badly, bring it back to Akaash Singh's wife, you saw how badly she was responding to criticism, and she has like no ability to see her role in this. Like, hey, maybe the things you're saying in public are going to be embarrassing and they're going to hurt your husband's brand. They're going to hurt his business, and so maybe you should reel it in. She responded very badly to that. And look, I'm not saying it was explained to her in a way that was like, like the people who were in her comment section that are Myron Gaines fans are probably being assholes. They're probably calling her all sorts of foul names and all that stuff. But she's taking that as an opportunity to be extra defiant and stomp her feet and dig her heels in. What she's not doing is using it as a growth opportunity. And that I think is maybe the most disqualifying thing about all of this. If you set aside all the money stuff and all the sex stuff and all the stuff suggesting she probably wasn't lied about being a virgin and all this stuff, set aside all of that. The fact that she seems incapable of learning and growing from the feedback she's getting right now, that's the thing that makes her disqualified as a potential partner. You want people that are capable of learning and growing to be in your life. And that goes for not just people you're porking, right? It goes for everybody. That's why I have you find people in my life. Is you find people not for porking, It's because you
and we appreciate that
because you find people are learning and growing. Look at how much this show has grown since episode 1. We should do a rewatch of episode 1 at some point.
Oh,
we should do it. Episode 1 of this show is terrible. Who's seen episode 1 of this show? Show of hands.
Was I on it?
None of you, right?
I think I was there. I think I was there.
You were on episode 3. Episode 3 was the first one I had you on, Emerald. I was trying to do kind of a
solo.
Yeah, I was doing like a solo, and I had one other guy that was trying to make it work with. He couldn't make it work with his schedule, but eventually I realized like it had to be a panel show in order for it to make sense. And now I do a solo show. Now I do Theocracy, but at the time I just, I didn't have really the skill set as far as streaming goes to do a solo show at that time. So so I mean, like this is, it's all from like learning and growing, and you want somebody who's going to be capable of learning and growing. It's somebody who can't take feedback. That's a really, really bad sign, and I again, this is unfortunately what is required to, it's like, I probably should approach more women, but it's like, it's not because, it's not because I've never done it before. It's because I know what it involves. Ugh.
Yeah, I think that explains. It was just sheer disgust that I saw. Just the groan. Just.
It's just like. Well, another thing too is because I've had good conversations with women too. And I know how rare they are, and I know, that kind of meeting somebody in the current meta who's not completely TikTok brained and who has their own thoughts and their own ideas. That is such a vanishingly rare thing. And to just hear TikTok facts spouted back at me is like, it's demoralizing, It's like, it's like you can have as much water as you want, but you have to drink out of the toilet. It's like, I'd rather not. Anyway, we can discuss subjects without spurging out, causing unnecessary drama. Yeah, that is something. It's like, men, we also, okay, so this gets back to actually, let's see if this ties into, so I keep eventually we're going to talk about the feminization of the workplace and stuff like that. Eventually we're going to get to that. I keep doing these long shows and then I don't get to it till the end of the second hour. So we're going to have to do, some stuff on that at some point. I actually have a video I want to clip. We'll wait till Strider gets back to do this. But one of the things that's happening is men and women have different communication patterns, and that's men can be a lot more direct with each other and then forgive it and move on, be mad at the time and then be like, he was probably right, and then forgive it and move on. And women have a lot harder time doing that. A lot of women, once they become enemies forever. And they enter into these like samurai style blood feuds where it just goes on and on and on and on. And nobody even remembers what started it. And even if you're like trying to help, it can be terrible. Go ahead.
We have a documented proof of that. What's that show, Survivor or something, where they were on an island or whatever, and it was the men versus the women.
Yeah.
And the men are like
Bear Grylls. One.
Yeah. And the men formed a hierarchical kind of cooperative system where they immediately started cooperating. And then the women formed this like collective where they were like very, it was very vibes based, and they ended up doing a big circle and just getting lost. They had to get him out. They had to, because they were like badly dehydrated. They just weren't able to survive.
They couldn't get no food going. Everything was just going to shit. They were arguing and fighting with each other, and the dudes were just high-fiving each other. Oh, look, I just caught all this fish or whatever. Or like, it was the two opposites.
Yeah. I have a really good video. Actually, this is a good video kind of explaining that. So I'm introducing you guys to Helen Andrews, who's somebody I just heard of. So she's got, so she's the one who's spreading the great feminization hypothesis. Go ahead. Hold on. Let me pull this up and then I'm going to refresh it.
Men developed rules of interpersonal behavior adapted to war and conflict with other tribes, whereas women developed rules of behavior consistent with conflict within the tribe and with particularly their female rivals. The example of that difference that I think clicks most easily for people or at least that I find that most ordinary people today recognize most easily, is that men are much more likely than women to have a concept of the honorable opponent, to be able to fight someone bitterly, even to the death in war, and yet at the end of it, be able to shake their hand and say, I respect you, and say, good game, fellow, and return to some kind of basic status quo of, yes, we were fighting to the death a moment ago, but I nevertheless respect you and honor you, and I'm willing to operate within rules of conflict, and the conflict's over, and now that it's done, we can be friends again.
Man,
Women tend to be slower to reconcile. I was surprised but pleased to discover that this is true even in primate species, that when they observe the behavior of chimpanzees, that females who get into conflict are slower to reconcile with their female rivals than males. I don't know, there must be something to it if even chimps are doing it. But women tend to not have that attitude of good game, let's shake hands and put bury this conflict, bury the hatchet. Women tend to simmer and continue conflicts indefinitely. And Joyce Benenson offered her evolutionary psychology reasons for why that might be the case in the difference between how men and women handle conflict. But whether or not her explanation for why it's true is valid or not, I think that most people would accept that it is true. She said that men develop...
There we go. Okay, so so think about that. Okay. And then, and one of the things that we saw, this interesting piece of data come out. Now I have it in front of me. One of the things we saw is that women on the left are less forgiving of their political allies than men on the right are of their political opponents. Meaning, in general, and this is true in general on the right, people on the right are much more willing to deal with and recognize the human dignity of their political opponents than people on the left are. Like on the left, they tend to view them as, subhuman. And I mean, we saw this obviously in the wake of the Charlie Kirk assassination, the way people reacted to it online. And by the way, who was it? It was a lot of women who were reacting that way.
Actually, I got a better proof of this.
Go ahead.
Anna Conspirian, when she started getting hate because she was talking about her experience walking around Los Angeles and New York and stuff. And people on her side were like dogging her out. And then her response was like, no one on the right has ever done this to me. When I had debates with Ben Shapiro or whoever else, they never once called me out of my name or any of that stuff. But it's the people on my own side that does that.
Yeah, like the right will roast you for something that you say, but we are more than willing to accept you once you've changed your mind. We're more than willing to be like, yeah, come on over. It's a big crowd. We're having a party over here. We're more than willing to do that. Well, what's interesting is the difference. It really is a difference between like masculinity and femininity. And I hate to have this as a binary because I mean that's where we are. There's very like the leftists are very much run by this feminine idea, by all these feminine ideals. They demonize masculinity. Even the very idea of diversity, equity, and inclusion is a feminine idea because you're not doing anything to earn your place. Your immutable characteristics mean that you are automatically in the group, even though you haven't proven yourself. Whereas the right, it's like we're a lot more willing to. We're willing to accept you, but you got to pass muster first. You got to have some ideological alignment here before we even get you. It's really the big difference between masculinity and femininity boiled down on a macro scale in the political sense. It's kind of interesting when you notice that.
Yeah, hold on. Men realize they have to coexist to an extent with each other to accomplish great feats like sustain civilization. Women just benefit from men's efforts, thus don't go through the friction of needing to work with others and compromise. All right. So that's okay. So I want to get this idea of DEI. So DEI is about making sure everybody feels included, which is a feminine value, right? And then whereas the alternative to that the right proposes is hardcore and meritocratic, which is unforgiving, it's unfeeling, it's hierarchical. These are all things that the feminine reject too. It's like, even though I don't have as much experience,
stimuli too.
Right. Even though I don't have as much experience, even though I don't have as much education, my opinion should still matter because my intuition might be right. That's very feminine way of approaching it. There is value to, considering everybody's opinion, but especially when you're running an organization like a business where things are very competitive and there's a lot of stuff that could go on. Like there's sometimes the hierarchical meritocratic model is actually the better way to get results. But remember, the kind of the feminine way of approaching it doesn't care as much about the results as it does about making sure everybody feels listened to and heard and validated and included. The results are kind of secondary to that. And we're seeing that in the way a lot of businesses run, where as everything gets HRified, you see the proliferation of just like bullshit meetings that accomplish nothing, and just people are just there to yap. And it's just there so everybody can be heard. All of the yapping can be done. The yapping has been yapped. And then it's like, thank God that's over. I can actually get some work done. But it doesn't, just like senseless communication just for the sake of yapping, and making sure. And also part of what makes work palatable for men is to be able to have humor at the workplace. And sometimes that humor is, vulgar. That's just the way it is. But that's what makes work palatable. What makes it survivable. Because let's be honest, nobody really wants to work. I mean, it sucks. It has to be done, but people don't want to do it unless you're like very, very lucky in terms of what you get to do. Most people don't want to fucking do it. And humor is what makes it palatable. Enter the HR department, which is accompanied by, women entering the workplace. And as they become the majority, the fields become more and more and more wokeified. The humor gets pushed out. Or the humor that men enjoy gets pushed out, and then the workplaces kind of become unpalatable for men to inhabit. And this has happened in a lot of different fields. This has happened in the legal field. This has happened in medicine. It's slowly happening. It's kind of like a slow rolling tide. But as women continue to earn 2/3 of college degrees, they're gonna more and more and more. They're gonna become the majority of these institutions. And what we find is that as women become the majority in these institutions, men start to leave. Once they cross that 50% threshold, men start to leave really quickly because just the environment becomes very, very, very hard for men to tolerate. It's just hard for us to live that way with the passive aggressive and the avoiding direct conflict and all the fake compliments and all the and the HRification of everything. Have you guys experienced this? Do you know the phenomenon that I'm talking about? Or you guys experienced this in the corporate world?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. I know my the lady that hired me at my current job, she very much seemed to enjoy making people terrified of her. And this could be just a human thing, but I mean, I chalk it up to her because she's an older woman in a fake job. And it's really, but it was funny because once she was summarily fired for doing all sorts of dumb shit, trying to exert her power over people, trying to, I think just getting drunk and ran her mouth about something. And it was actually kind of hilarious because I didn't know she was gone until 3 months later. And then I just heard someone say randomly, "Oh yeah, this person's gone. She's out of here. She got fired. She got marched out by security." I'm like, "Wait, what?" What was interesting is that I didn't notice. I didn't need to. I didn't need her presence anywhere. But she was very much one of those people in the middle of COVID. She was double masking. She swallowed everything Fauci threw out, and it was very, very interesting to see the shift in tone that took place around the office. To now everyone's a lot more loose. Everyone's willing to, not really telling edgy jokes, but is willing to like imply some edgy things every once in a while, something that never would have happened with her around. And it's quite interesting to notice the tone shift. Everything became lighter, a little bit more fun. We got along better. We didn't need an HR department, which we have one, but it's a way. It's some subscription service, but we didn't need someone like her coming in and tell us how to do things because we can do it ourselves. And it's been very interesting to notice because the entire office feels it. We're like,
yeah, well, that's
the thing. That rate.
Well, and we have a mechanism for if the women in the workplace feel like the business is too much like a frat house, but we don't have anywhere for the men to go when they feel like it's a little too much like a kindergarten.
Yeah.
We don't have a reverse HR department where men could be like, can we at least get a titty calendar on the wall? Can we get something?
You can if you have a happy hour later. That's one thing, because it's not really a company event. If all of y'all are just saying, hey, we're just going to go to a happy hour after work, then you can let loose, and then the drinks start flowing, and that kind of everything's on the table, which is fine.
Yeah, but
you
do
need that. But
you
definitely
really
need
want to
that.
get drunk with your coworkers though? Doesn't that open?
No, I don't want to be around my coworkers.
It
I'm around them all
depends.
the time.
It depends on the job. Like I've been to Daybreak Studios. I don't know if they still have it, but when you go in there, they had this big giant kitchen with giant kegs and pool tables, arcade machines. There was bring your dog to work days and shit like that. But that's just the nature of the environment. It's like, okay, we're here to make games. Let's get to an environment to where people are playful and shit, because then we're trying to have games that are fun or whatever, right? Like you walk in the building, there's a giant Batman statue from Injustice inside the building or whatever. If you played those games, but that was just Daybreak, and then a lot of other studios were like that. You hear about toy companies where their meetings are throwing a Nerf gun and shooting Nerf guns at each other. That's the board meetings and shit like that. Just shit to like be guys and just goof the fuck off or whatever, right? Yeah, and get the like DDR will says to get creative juices working, flowing or whatever, right? But now you see these same companies, like you'll see, like if you look at like what's that picture? I think it was Bungie, where it showed Bungie from the past, and you see all these dude bros hanging out and shit. And you go to a Bungie now, it's a bunch of chicks with like blue hair, shaved the side, deceptive nose piercings, and you're like, what the fuck happened? And so, yeah, so and that's the problem. Like it used to be like the Harvey Weinstein. I mean, say what you want about the dude. Hollywood was pumping out banger after banger movie, or whatever, right? It's just you got to have that. You allow men to have a dude bro culture, and even when like you go to mechanics, all of them are hanging out, smoking cigarettes. You got your thumbs stubbed on some fucking car park you're working on. You cuss like a fucking sailor and shit, and
they still got a Bud. Oh, my camera's not on. They still got a Budweiser bikini calendar from 1985 in the office. That's like a mechanic.
Yeah, see, that's what the thing is. Like, maybe it is a job that you don't hate, but you're there with your bros kind of thing. That's the work culture, and your guys are slugging each other along to get the whatever fucking work done or whatever. That's what. And now that that's all gone, everything just seems to gone to shit.
Like it's so weird how the HR culture, but then again, it's entirely understandable because they have no concept of the real world or how men behave. They don't care. The best way to make the best way to improve any kind of production in any kind of male dominated field is make it fun, make it enjoyable. Because it creates it creates cohesion. You work together better. It's team building without it being gay low ropes courses.
Like we all heard about the Blizzard, right? When all the Blizzard employees are just like partying it up and shit, and it's like, oh hell yeah! Like you may be at crunch, like it's a high divorce rate industry for a reason, But like at the same time, like we're all trying to make this fucking game together. Whether how stressful it is, but we can still. You enjoy kind of coming at work because it's you and your bros just hanging out and just cranking out whatever project you're working on and shit.
And here's the thing: this has gotten worse over time. Would we agree to that? And I want to show something because I want you to remember, because like it's been a while since all of us were in high school. I want to show you something that reminds you what schools look like now. And for a lot of these young guys, they're coming up and they're going into these kindergarten style workplaces, right? And they're finding it unpalatable. And so a lot of these guys are out of work, or they're, whatever, or they're not psyched about trying to find a job. Not only is trying to find a job difficult, but remember the schools that they came out of, because I got to show you this. So this is a photograph from this is one. That's one.
They're still doing the BLM
this is just
thing.
Regular. This is just regular stuff. This is from. I think this guy's talking about going to parent teacher night for his 11-year-old. So this is the schools that they came through, right, with their millennial teachers. This kind of stuff is on the wall, right? So remember what that goes with is the education that like men are terrible, men are responsible for absolutely everything wrong in society, and they're hearing that message from the time that they're very young, and then they get into the workplace, and it runs according to those norms. Like they're like, again, and like just it used to be like if you had a doctor and they had some strong political views, it would be pretty unusual for them to telegraph that to you. Now, how many workplaces do we go into now, even if it's like to interact with the doctor and they've got like some buttons on that have some kind of political messaging on them,
There's
like
some
a Black Lives
flags
Matter
on the
button or like a gay
computer,
button or whatever. Go ahead.
No, in fact, my I know again my office, because it's part of a bigger company. They do the whole pride bullshit. Not so much lately though. In the past couple of years, which is interesting. There's not been I've been invited to umpteen different, because I work in the most corporate of corporate places,
right?
And I've been invited to umpteen different pride things. Let's hear this person talk about diversity. It's like, fuck off. No, let's hear this person talk about women in the workplace. This was it female empowerment? Like, fuck off. Using those same words that we use as memes, they actually are serious. I'm like, no, I'll decline them, and I won't just delete it. I will put it on the calendar, decline. Like, not doing this. I'm not participating in this, because none of this shit helps me do my job better. And if it does not help me do my job better, if I'm not learning anything, then fuck off.
Sure.
It has nothing to do, and that's how I treat it. And if anyone were to ask me, that's exactly what I'd say. Because there is no room for this political grandstanding. But it's interesting, again, noticing that the lady who hired me is gone. That shit isn't as prevalent anymore. And I can guarantee you she was the one pushing all of it. We had people marching in pride parades for years, and now I don't hear a peep about it in the past couple of years, because she's not here anymore. That's not her focus anymore, because she's a woman in power who got it in her head to be virtuous. So it's definitely reduced now, but I still find like Steve rainbow flags everywhere every once in a while, and pencil cups and everything, and it annoys the hell out of me. But it's not required for me to participate in.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you something. Do you think the people who are promoting this are actually promoting what they think is virtuous, or do you think they are trying to exercise power and control over people in the office?
Yes and no. For one, so I know in my case, the lady who was in charge, she was definitely, she qualified herself as a bleeding heart liberal. She was a true believer. However, the company as a whole, because it's part of an international corporation, the company as a whole is definitely promotes it. So you got the people, and you can, in every office kind of has a say in how it can have a say in how it wants to do it, or how intensely they want to do it. I mean, I doubt anyone in San Francisco would have that privilege, but I know but in my experience, it certainly was worse whenever you had a true believer in charge who was pushing it on everybody else, on all of her underlings.
I think the start of the problem is the quest for their diversity. You don't fucking need diversity. Like when I used to be in the game industry or whatever, for the short time I was there, like I would be the only black guy in the shit, right? And I was like, okay, I'm the token black guy. Well, fuck it, with these guys, but it's not every black guy's interest to be like, oh, let me go make games or whatever. The same thing. It's not everyone's, like nursing, right? It's not a dude's interest to be a fucking nurse most of the time, right? The only dudes who were nurses were Filipinos or they were gay. Or
both. Usually both.
Filipinos, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it's a female dominated industry. Most guys ain't going to school to be a fucking nurse, and that's 100% fine. So if you go like, if we did the same things that they were doing, like, hey, well, there's obviously a pay discrepancy between men and women in the nursing field, and you'd be like, okay, well, so not that many men care about being nurses. Go figure. There's more women working than being a nurse and doing whatever. But then what we were getting is like, hey, there's not enough black people working in movie studios or working at video game companies. What can we do to change that demographic? No, you don't need to change it. So like, just let the people who naturally do care about it go work in those fields. So like, I actually cared about it. So I went in the gaming industry. But like, when you force people in, and that's when you just getting these diversity hires where it's like, they never cared about the IPs or the product, where we see in Marvel and DC. It was like, oh, let's make Spider-Man in a fucking wheelchair and web swing for no fucking reason, or whatever. You know, you get shit like that, and then us as the consumers, like, the fuck is this piece of shit? I'm going to go read some manga anime.
Yeah, what happens when you get people like that into people who have different priorities, right? Then, like, your priority when you're going in there is, I want to make a good game.
Yeah.
Their priority when they get in is, I want to do activism. I want to get a game with representation of whatever my pet issue is, whether it's racial or trans or gay or whatever the hell it is. That's what they're focused on. So they care about different things. So it's like, so from your perspective, they're failing at making a game because the games they're making are not entertaining. From their perspective, they're wildly successful and everyone else is an asshole for not getting it. Right?
Yeah,
because they were trying to make a piece of political propaganda on purpose. Like, they were much less concerned with whether or not the game was good and much more concerned with whether or not it had the stuff in it that they wanted to be in it, you know, the messaging. And that results in the games in general being worse. And then people,
for instance, look at Star Wars, right? Oh, I didn't know there was source material for Star Wars. And, you know, like, everyone that actually cared about Star Wars is, what the fuck are you talking about? It's been there for years.
The same thing. I mean, one of the worst instances of this was Rings of Power, when everyone was like, okay, what's up here? Because it's Amazon Studios. Everyone, myself included, were like, I am not trusting them whatsoever. And then that one big black dwarf chick came out, swinging on every red carpet, every interview, where she's like, this is a redress of balance. He was there to be the token black.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of this. So I think a lot of us, one of the things we've been reading this is a political movement or a religious movement. But what we haven't really talked about is that wokeness spreading really quickly exactly coincides with women becoming the majority in a lot of these industries, which has happened in law. It's happened in medicine. Because also it's easiest to see in the culture as women. You look at who the top musicians are right now, it's all women. If you look at who actually do the research of who the writers and producers are most of these streaming shows you're talking about, who's writing them, who's making them, who's making the creative decisions about set design, about casting, all this stuff. It is a really, really, really high percentage of women who are making the choices, much more so in the past. And I think with that is coming more and more and more of the woke stuff. So I think looking at it, and I'm not the one to propose this. This is Helen Andrews that proposed this in the last couple weeks, and it's been, you know, spreading like wildfire. And there's been lots of articles going back and forth about it. But the idea is, it's not just a political movement. It's the way women socialized and the way women do things scaled up. So the priority is less about results, less who's good at doing stuff, and more about making sure everybody feels included, everybody's voice is heard, everyone is validated. And the downstream effect of that is that the actual products that are being made are not being well received. And that's very easy to see in media. I think the point that is, I think, more compelling is that it's happening in other sectors of society as well. As this, let me pull up one more video because we're coming up on the end of how long I want to be doing a show today. But I do want to pull up one more video. This gentleman in a backwards hat did not originate this idea. This idea came from Helen Andrews, but she's a giant nerd. So this bro is gonna lay it out for us, and it'll be more palatable. Go ahead.
Orhan Mamdani is a great example of the great feminization. Here we can see that 83% of young women voted him in, as well as his announcement that he has an all-female transition team.
That's fucking wild.
Now, the 83%, I knew that was the case. Even when the results were rolling in, I'm like, it's going to be majority women who voted for this. I guarantee it. And I was right.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't think, and especially in an East Coast metropolitan city, I don't think anybody's super surprised about that. No. But the virtue signaling the all-female transition team, that is going to have an effect on the culture. That is going to have an effect on a culture because women and men operate differently. It's not, men and women are not interchangeable. That will change things. So he's ostensibly a man, but he's clearly telegraphing that he wants to represent women's interests. Now, how do you think the women who voted for him felt about this? I think they were like, yes, love that. Yes, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I know a chick that voted for him. I just didn't say anything because, like, I knew the chick since high school. She moved to New York and became famous, and you might see her on commercials and shit in New York. So for me, I'm like, well, at least I dodged a bullet. So-
I mean,
All right,
can you imagine a more nightmarish scenario working for a bunch of East Coast liberal women who voted for let's be honest, a gay Muslim young man for mayor of New York? Oh, kill me now.
Yeah, it's definitely I'm interested to see how this plays out. This is a very interesting cultural moment that we're seeing right now. And I think that the Mamdani vote is part of the fuck you vote. I think it's actually part of the same phenomenon, the Nick Fuentes phenomenon, the Donald Trump phenomenon prior to that. There's a lot of people who are like, fuck what we're doing right now. Everything sucks. I want to flip the table over. And I think Mamdani is actually part of that same populist fuck you phenomenon.
Well, I have a difference. I think you're right on the voting sense, but I don't think much is going to change in New York.
No, I don't think so either.
Because at the same time, he still needs the governor of New York to like play along to what he wants to push. And if the governor and shit's like, hey, we're not voting this shit in, we're going to lose a bunch of businesses and stuff. So it's still going to be the same New York that has got a communist guy that can't really do nothing.
And the mayor of New York is certainly going to have a lot more power than, say, the mayor of Charlotte, North Carolina. But it's not his power is not. He's not going to be an autocrat for sure. He's not going to be able to put stuff in that violates state law or federal law. So, but if anything, in New York is just going to get worse because when you're releasing these people, when you're releasing criminals out into the street again and again and again, people are going to die and is going to have more to himself.
Right, and that is downstream. So we're going to get into that right now. That'll be discussed later in the video. This is that's more results of the great feminization, and there's reasons for that. He's going to get into it, and then we'll discuss. Go ahead.
To some, that's empowerment, but to others, it's a very strange cultural shift, and political scientist Helen Andrews calls it the great feminization. Let me explain. Andrews argues this isn't about left or right, it's actually psychological. Once women become the majority inside an institution, the rules of behavior change. What does that mean? Competition gives way to consensus, confrontation to emotional harmony, etc., etc., and she tracks this with hard numbers. Law schools turned majority female in 2016. Law firm associates crossed 50% in 2023. The New York Times staff went majority female in 2018, now roughly at 55%. Women became the majority of college-educated workers in 2019, and by 2023, they were the majority of college instructors. The psychology field was once male-dominated, now it's down to less than 20%. And Andrews states that each of these tipping points reshapes the institution at its core. In her speech, and I quote, "The rule of law will not survive the legal profession becoming majority female." What's her reasoning? Well, she says that the law depends on cold consistency, precedent over empathy, and she claims women are trained to consider context and fairness before the actual rules and laws.
Okay, so do you guys remember the good example of this? Do you remember the Brett Kavanaugh case where Christine Blasey Ford came and she made a very emotional speech before Congress, but for the Senate, but she didn't have any hard evidence. And so some people said, hey, if she doesn't have hard evidence, then none of the shit matters because this is an innocent or guilty thing and you need to provide evidence, right? And a lot of people said, people kind of on the left said, the fact that she was so emotionally upset was in itself sort of a form of evidence, right? And that's not consistent with our legal tradition. Also, the idea of one of the things that people have asked me a lot is how can it be that people who are activists, not even lawyers or judges, can be releasing criminals onto the street in major metros after multiple convictions such that those people are free to reoffend again? And the reason is because of this. Because of the great feminization has resulted as women kind of pour into these professions. It's particularly in the law, which is where I've seen it. It's where I have the most experience with it, is in the law.
Well, see, most women put feelings over facts instead of facts over feelings.
Yeah, at least that's much more normal. It's a shift in priorities for the law rather than cold and calculating and getting kind of unsatisfactory results, trying to a more holistic approach where you consider context. But the problem is absolutely everyone, no matter what they've done, probably has something somewhere in the background that could cause you to feel bad for them. right? Almost anybody, right? And if you choose to focus on that, too much compassion for somebody who commits a crime is committing a different type of injustice towards the people who were victimized by that crime, right?
Well, it's funny, a
too much
line.
compassion. Yeah.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Like a line that I love from Batman Begins is criminals thrive under the indulgence of society's understanding. And that's exactly what it is. It's an indulgence. It is a luxury belief. It's not based on it will bring nothing but rot.
Yeah, this is the suicidal empathy idea. And I think a lot of this is, some of this is, hijacking the misplaced maternal instincts of single women who don't have any kids, like some of that, and being like getting them to apply those maternal instincts to criminals and foreigners, people who live across the ocean and stuff like that, and causing them to vote against their own interests, against their long-term survival interests.
Well, it's also not
in the name of empathy.
It's also, I also think it goes hand in hand. Let's not gloss over the fact that it's women who are the ones who are thirsting over literal serial killers, who are calling like oh gosh, like pretty much if it's a Ryan Murphy crime show, they're gonna call that person hot.
It's like that's so funny.
I was saying, not only that, if you ever look at all the people who are justice informed or they want prison reform and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Most of those organizations are all female, mostly female ran. I mean, there's dudes in there too, but I'm just saying they're mostly female ran. Like, okay, where do we have prisons and jails for? To punish people who commit crimes or whatever against another person, whatever. It's supposed to be a punishment. It's not supposed to be a bed and breakfast. It's not supposed to be the Best Western or whatever, and not even a Motel 6. But these people will be like, how this prison's overcrowded and these people are sleeping on the floor. How we need to do something that's more humane for these people or whatever.
Now, I will agree when it depends on what the crime is. I think,
like victimless
the punishment's got it. The punishment's got to fit the crime. But if you're on death row, you're in a hole.
Yeah, I think none of us want to live in a country where people are punished too harshly or unnecessarily harshly for crimes, but we also have to live in a society with a functioning criminal justice system. And that's something that we talked about, over the past couple months quite a bit as we're looking at, remember that little Ukrainian girl who got stabbed on the train, and all this stuff. Like we've been reflecting on a lot of this stuff. How did we get to this point? And a lot of this is downstream of shifting priorities in the legal field. Undisputably, this is shifting law enforcement priorities as we're shifting way more towards the people who are advocating for criminal justice reform are getting to have their way. Their ideas are being tested. And what is happening is that in many cases, they're backfiring horribly. And it feels really good to say a lot of these ideas, but they don't actually work in a serious way. It's taking advantage of people's empathy. And I think what the point of the great feminization hypothesis is that these things are coinciding with a lot of women becoming the majority in these fields as priorities are shifting. That's kind of going alongside, coinciding with, and perhaps even causing this shift in priorities. This is a good point I've heard before. DJ Darrow was bringing it up. Freeran also touches on this. When demons use words like mommy and mother and it hurts, they're like magic spells to people. Their empathy disarms them. It keeps them from treating a demon exactly like how they baby minorities so they could stay out of jail and keep voting for Debs. Yeah, so this is like the suicidal empathy idea, and it's touched on in this particular work of fiction. It's like a lot of time, like evil doesn't, like the way that evil sneaks by you is by appealing to your empathy. Like a lot of really, really horrible shit, they slip by people who are perfectly well-meaning, who are not, bad people. You get them to feel bad. It's like, oh, well, yeah, I don't want to be mean. And then all of a sudden, you've created a situation where there's a lot of negative consequences. unfortunately. And so, and it's a huge fucking bummer. And it's like, I'm not, and one of the, but let's continue watching the video because we got more here.
She warns that when feeling outweighs principle, the system bends to sentiment instead of justice. About the media, she wrote, a feminized press seeks consensus rather than confrontation. When newsrooms fill with people avoiding offense, truth-telling starts to sound like aggression. The mission drifts from investigating power to validating audiences. When it comes to academia.
Yeah, and this is what we saw during COVID, right? Where consensus building became the most important thing, and it ended up being the mainstream narrative was totally incorrect. And what happened when people came out with things that were unpopular to say, but ended up later being true? Those people got exiled, excommunicated. A lot of them lost jobs. They lost their, income. They lost their public reputations, and they got canceled for saying things that later turned out to be true. And this is what happens when you have a press that focuses primarily on building and sharing consensus and not on, and I would say radically prioritizes caution over risk taking.
Well, also we're watching it real time too, right? With the EBT situation, right? So we do know, like if it was up to me, there would be no EBT. But beyond that, okay. Are there people who may need the food? Yes. But so their argument is like, well, we got to let this happen because we got to have all this EBT going on because there may be a family that's starving or whatever. But then if you bring up, well, what about all the people who are obviously 600 pounds and getting thousands of dollars on fucking EBT, right? And like, and filling up their fridges and shit because they can pop out more babies in you or whatever. What about them that are just not trying to conform to society at all? They ignore that completely because, well, we got to have compassion or whatever for whoever it is. Or it's the same thing. Like, we got a fucking bridge over here where it says, do not give these people money that's standing out here. People do it anyway because it's like the people get, oh, man, this person might be homeless. And then, like, there's so many proof, like, the dude has brand new Nikes on or some shit. I bet his car's probably parked around the corner, and then you're just enabling him not to go work.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and we'll wrap.
She claims feminized academia treats disagreement as aggression. Universities built for debate now prioritize psychological safety. She calls that the moment when learning turns into therapeutic affirmation, when the pursuit of truth gives way to the management of feeling, then the core of academia, what the hell is the point anymore? For politics and bureaucracy, she adds, where masculine institutions prize hierarchy and rule, feminine ones prize process and consensus. What's the result? Well, endless meetings, fewer risks, slower decisions, governance that feels like nurturing but achieves much, much less. Fundamentally, it adds that men and women are both wired very differently. And when an institution is predominantly female, it is not actually built for results and truth, but rather nurture, care, and empathy. So as for Mamdani's crew, I mean, it fits the narrative, right? It fits Helen's argument. His base is overwhelmingly young, educated women. It reflects the same institutional culture that Andrews describes. His politics became less adversarial and more emotional. The goal shifts from managing policy to managing feelings. So whether you agree or disagree with Helen, she's asking one question you can't dodge. What happens to a civilization when how we feel matters more than what's true?
There we go. That's what we're trying to get at here. And we've seen this happen to the workplace. And I think Mamdani is an example of it kind of playing out in politics. But we're definitely, I think we've all kind of seen that happen in one way or another in the workplace. And that has like made things shittier. We're also seeing it happen in art. And it's making all that. I mean, this is what, brought us all together was sort of the wokeification of art, which may turn out to actually have been the feminization of art, which is to say taking the shift away from making the best art projects we can possibly can and putting the focus on building a consensus and making sure everybody feels included. And then we saw the same thing happen in media, right? And now we're seeing the same thing happen in law. And we're seeing the same thing happen in medicine, which, by the way, I think is how the transgender thing took off, is because disagreeing with it would have been mean and it would have disrupted the consensus. It would have disrupted social harmony. Right. It would have required somebody to be a strong, confident truth teller and deal with a lot of the personal and career blowback. And that's actually what has happened, But and then in academia, like I saw this, when I was in law school, the shift away from there's been a significant shift away from debate and a lot more on agreeing and feeling good and yes-anding each other and seeking affirmation, and disagreement was like frowned upon. So I mean, that's not good, right? Because how are you supposed to run a society that doesn't give a shit about truth? That's not good.
Makes me
all right.
read.
All right, folks. This has been fun. We've been doing this for 2.5 hours. Let's say we get the fuck out of here, huh? All right. Who wants to do their outros? We'll do Vagabond. Vagabond, you're right here. You have some personal habits I find disgusting. Why don't we talk about that?
Okay. Yes, I'm a degenerate. I'm proud of it. But if you're into degeneracy, or even if you're not and just curious about what degeneracy I'm into, come check out my podcast tomorrow called I Swear It's Not Hentai. Yeah. Other than that, later tonight I will be on Iron Oxides, the Weekly Rogues Gallery. After that, I will be on Anime for the Homies. And then after that, I'll be on Drunken Emerald's channel. And I'm sorry, I forgot the name of the show tonight.
Insert title here.
Okay, insert title here. And other than that, again, if you're questioning about your own degeneracy or wondering about mine, check out I Swear It's Not Hentai podcast tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
All right, that's awesome. Iron Oxide, you are here also. What kind of awesome shit are you getting up to in the next week or so? I think you have a show later today, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, actually, in the next 2.5 or hour and a half of roundabout. Let's see, I can't do math right now. 4:30 p.m. PST. So a few hours from now, we got the Weekly Rogues Gallery reset, new show, episode 2, same show, new title, new date and time. Gonna have a guest, Dermy Wormy, on for a little bit and just talk about some of the goings-ons of the week. So if you watch the show before on Friday, it's the same thing. Just come watch it today. And then we tried for this week, didn't work out. Gonna try for next week, get Ironcast back up off the ground, shake off the dust and get that back onto a regular schedule as well. And then I pop in on this show. I try to make it on the Sunday shows, either Vagabonds, I Swear It's Not Hentai, or Sammy's in other news. So go support both those guys and come check out the show later on today.
Excellent. Strider, you are here. I keep telling you need to get your own stream. It'll be good for your mental health. Are you doing it? Are you doing a solo stream this week?
Not this. Actually, you know what? Now that you say that, I've thought about restarting my my story stream, but my throat just gets dry from all that reading. So maybe I'll just find something to gab about. But yeah, I'm thinking about that. But you can usually find me here on Touch Grass, and you can also find me on Rogues Gallery. Won't be there tonight, but it will be next week. And you know what? Maybe I'll pop up resume my Thursday stream. We'll see.
All right, sounds good. And Drunken Emerald Arrow, 99 overall producer, the man, the myth, the legend. I know you've got some shit going on. What kind of shit do you have going on that you want to promote on the show right now?
Depending on space, I'll be over on Weekly Rogues Gallery this evening. And then my show at 7 p.m. PST over on my channel, insert title here, where we are going to be doing a bracket battle of sci-fi movies to find out, based on it, which one is the best sci-fi movie. Then Tuesday at 6 p.m. PST over on my channel is Nerds Covering the News with co-host Tiny But Fierce. Tiny, breaking news, finally has a X account again after hers got hacked and finally started a new one. Unlike Strider, she lost hers through hacking, not because of misbehaving.
No, my second one was hacked.
Okay. And then
point taken.
Then normally Saturday morning at 8:30 a.m. PST is Cavecast with Sammy Threepeat, and then back here.
Awesome. Well, just to remember, folks, in case you don't know, my name is Theo Snodgrass. I'm a comedian and podcaster out of Las Vegas, Nevada. I do this show, Touch Grass with Theo Snodgrass. This is the panel show. I also do Theocracy, which is my solo show. I'm trying to do that. Trying to make that a Monday, Wednesday, Friday show. Trying to do a solo show, do more solo streaming. So that's good stuff. I appreciate you guys coming out for the panel. If you have any show topics you want to see discussed, please shoot them to my X DMs. Follow me on X, follow me on YouTube, follow me on Instagram. Shoot me show topics because I get a lot of my show topics from stuff people send in. So if you have ideas, if you have questions, you have thoughts, you want to see us discuss on the show, please feel free to shoot those over to my X DMs. If you have guests that you think should be on the show, send them over to my X DMs. Let's make it happen. So this is going to be, we're going to try to grow. I've been doing this for almost a year now. So we're coming up on, just kind of reflecting on it and we've come a long way. We've built kind of a culture around the show. I'm very happy with what's happened. So thank you guys for being here. It's been fucking rad seeing you. And please enjoy the intro to my other show as the outro to this show. Thank you very much.